A pleasant good morning to everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Carlos Brown Show right here on the Black College Sports Network. Yours truly, Carlos Brown. Here's what's trending on today's show. Southern University softball reaches 30 wins for the third time in school history. They defeated Prairie View, who is number one in the Western Division, 3-1. That game was played in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Up today, a doubleheader on the campus of Southern University, starting in less than an hour. Southern University baseball continues to trend upwards. They're making a believer out of me, at least so far. They would have win over UAPB. They came from behind in that game to win 11-7. Now there's a three-way tie in the standings in the SWAC baseball standings. And Black College Football Poll and Black College All-American team set to debut in 2026. We'll get into all of that and more. Now, let's introduce the panel. Then I'll tell you the guest menu coming up for today's show. There we go. Good morning, Charles. Good afternoon, Willa Brown. Good morning, Coach Pettaway.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. The panel is here. Now, coming up in hour number one, Coach Joshua Covington at about 11:45. He's the running back coach on the new Southern University football staff. I'm still working on Marshall Falk, but I can't wait too much longer. I got to go with who I can get. And then also in hour number two, Ramirez Young, offensive lineman that transferred into Southern University. He made it on campus in January. He's participated in spring football. We'll see what's going on with the O-line. Coach Pettaway, specifically with him. And Willer, I guess you could appreciate that.
Definitely.
Offensive lineman. Welcome to everybody in the chat room. I see the comments are coming in. Yeah. Southern softball, we'll just start with that. 3-1 over Prairie View. Coach Williams has done an outstanding job. 30 wins. They made it to the 30-win mark for the third time in school history. That division, softball, FAMU on the other side, Jackson State, Southern, and Prairie View. Prairie View still number one in the West, but Southern's right behind them. If they can get both games today, or if they split one, they still win the series. And I think that's a good thing, and it looks like it will be interesting rest of the regular season and tournament, Charles. But kudos to Southern University.
Absolutely. I mean, Coach Williams has done an outstanding job, with that program. And I remember last year, they had to play a ton of games that last week, the makeup week, which this year will start next week. The regular season ends today. But next week, there's no softball unless there's makeup games. And I remember last year, she had to get a bunch of games in. And she did a good job with that to get in and do some other good things. But Coach Williams has done a really good job with that program. Coach of the year, with what she's done, I would, she would have my vote. But, I don't have a vote, but I think she's done a really good job.
Excellent job.
Yes.
I know the division winner usually, and the champions in softball, the coach gets the award. You'll probably, in a perfect world, with heavy consideration. But you know what? Just being where they are now, going to get into the tournament, and let's see what happens after that. If they make a long run, but once again, I got to get contracts ready. Oh my goodness! Extensions and all that kind of good stuff. My philosophy, and of course, I know everyone knows I'm not an AD, but I believe in rewarding good work, progress. Now, do you go crazy with it? No, and offer a 5-6 year extension? No, we're not talking about that. But the 2-year contract, I'm Wheeler. Let's just say they make a deep run in the tournament. Let's say they fall short. I still think you reward it and the staff. Now, if they win it, the other scenarios they win it, then of course you reward them as well.
I mean, you're always looking at the body of work, on top of everything else that's
Mhm.
there. And she's been in the hunt for quite some time, that sort of thing. Just haven't been able to quite get over the hump yet. You want to reward them for where they are, both positively and negatively, if that should be the case.
Mhm.
And look to move forward from there.
Coach Pettaway, he doesn't seem as excited as usual. It's like, yeah, we'll reward her. Come on, let's.
Yeah, but Carlos, I agree with you. I think you should. I think it's always important for the administration to reward coaches that excel. And you just said that this first time, it's been a while since you all have had 30 wins. I think that body of work has proven that the program is headed in the right direction. So I think you should really look at that, because it really gives the coaches more confidence when they see the administration behind them.
And you want to make sure you keep good coaches. I mean, you want to
Right.
make sure you keep those folk around, and
Right.
make them feel appreciated, and the whole 9 yards with that. So all that comes into play also.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I,
Yeah. You
I was
can't,
just.
hey, Carlos, you can't be like what's going on in our state here in Alabama.
Mhm.
They gave the football coach from Alabama an extension and a raise.
Mm.
And he had a subpar season in their eyes, and then he gets an extension and he goes from 10 million to 12 million a year. That's kind of tough now. That's kind of tough.
Mhm.
That kind of incentive, I don't think you need. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I see his buyout dollars went down a bit, Coach Pettaway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I smell something else in the pot also.
And we often talk about it in college athletics, man. It's shifting, it's changing,
Yep. Yep.
left and right, and man, they also, and it wasn't one of my was trending, but I kind of maybe want to put it somewhat to the back burner for next week, so I can look at it a little bit more. I got to do my research. But Coach Pettaway, they're talking about 5 for 5.
Yep.
No. It reminds me of the way it was before the genie got out of the box. Some programs were able to redshirt freshmen, those who were exceptional, and they made it, say, like into the second unit or first.
Yeah.
Then they played, but then everybody else was redshirt. Now the clock ticks. Well, this is what they're pushing. NCAA committee. Let me say that, and it may be good. It's a good chance that it may happen. So then I think everyone, coaches, they still got to tweak their recruiting. Then you still got the NIL in there. It's, you know what? I think they're trying to make a response because they let the genie out of the bottle. Now, how can you get it back in and control it? It's just a mess, really.
Well, I think one thing that I think this will do now, to me, this will bring back the high school players will be back in the mix. I
Mhm.
think a 5 for 5 will bring more high school kids. They'll give them an opportunity for scholarship, because you won't have all these transfer. Because a part of that proposal, is you can only transfer one time.
Right.
So see, that'll stop some of this jumping into the portal. Just like we got all these kids out. And by the way, the portal is not closed for men's basketball, right? So
Right.
now these kids are scrambling to try to find a place. Now let's just see how many of the thousands that got in the portal will find a landing spot. And if it goes like in the years past, you will have over half of those kids not even having a place to go.
If it goes like now,
Right.
to your
Yes.
point,
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
And see, that's why I always ask, what is the plan? If this, you have X, Y, Z, and Z is cut out, people just gonna come up with a plan on the fly. But
Yeah, but I think the way that the clock has gone in the past, the eligibility started from the first time that you enrolled in an institution as a full-time student. But now they're talking about the clock starting automatically right after graduation. Whether you go right into college or not, that 5-year window starts the moment you walk across that stage in high school and get that high school diploma. So that's going to be a little dicey to work with also, because there have always been reasons for kids to delay that enrollment in terms of going to school, going to college right out of high school. So the NCAA kind of allotted that window there, to where your clock didn't start until you enrolled in an institution as a full-time student.
Right.
But now the clock is getting ready to start the moment you get out of high school, whether you move on to the next level or not.
Right. And really what they're trying to do, they're trying to stop these grown men playing against these young kids. That's basically what they're trying to do, because, when you got kids getting 7, 8, and 9 years, man, them guys are 28, 29 years old and still playing in college. And in society's eyes, there are a lot of other bad things that can happen like that. You got a 27, 28-year-old man in college, and there's a 17-year-old freshman. Come on, man. That is not. I'm not just talking about the guys now. What kind of situation are you created with the females? That kind of thing. So a lot of that has to come into play, man. And I think it's long overdue. Other than military and religious reasons, that clock is going to start. Because now, Willa, they're still going to allow you, if you decide to go to the military, that your clock's not going to start now.
They keep all that into consideration. There's no doubt about that.
Right. And also with the religious, like the Mormons, they got to go on the mission. They will still be allowed to do that. But when you look at it, there are not that many of them. We just right now, because of the portal and all this, you got more and more older people participating in college athletics. And it's not right. They should be professional if they're good enough. And then if they're not, get your butt out there and get a job, a real job. Yeah.
Well, to your point, guys, and I just pulled it up. It said the proposal aims to eliminate traditional red shirts, gap years, and most waivers, with narrow exceptions only for pregnancy, military service, and religious missions.
Right.
And also, with this proposal, it grants athletes 5 years of eligibility to compete in 5 seasons within a 5-year window, starting after high school graduation or their 19th birthday.
Yep.
So some adjustments are coming. And, we talked to certain coaches that's come on here. And they've talked about, they still going to recruit freshmen. We've had some coaches say they strictly. I sent you guys a text message during the week. Rick Pitino says he just going to recruit people out of the portal. Carlos James came on this show, former UAPB baseball, and he said, if he has a choice of a 21-year-old baseball player and a freshman, he's going 21. Yeah. So I asked the question again. Coach Pettaway, if you were coaching basketball in the stage now, would you have the balance of high school? And Porter's going to be kind of like knocked down tremendously. But what about JUCO?
Right. I think you got to have a combination. You have to have a mixture, but you got to have a good balance. I don't think, number one, you cannot lean towards just all high school kids now. That's not going to work because you don't have the experience. Their bodies have not matured. So I've been that. I went that route one year. I had 7 freshmen one year. That is not a good thing to have. We had one of the youngest teams in Division I, or the youngest team. You don't want to do that, Rob. You got to have a combination. You bring you some high school kids to so that they can go through your program. You add in a couple of JUCOs if you can get them, or a couple, in this case, the portal, and you get you a good mixture of people. And I think that'll work. That'll work in today's society. But this all out portal business, to me, somewhere something is not being done right, because how can you have an APR or maintain your APR if you're constantly turning over your roster? That's the part I have not gotten under yet. How can you maintain that 930 that's required, and you got a roster turnover every year? Because in 4 years, they're going to catch up with you now. Because you're losing points. I know you get a point back if that kid goes and graduates. But what about the kids who transferred 3 times during a college career? You missing something there now.
Yeah, you better do your due diligence and know who you're recruiting. But back to like not a short time ago, I remember here at Southern, Coach Richardson, you maybe would have a recruiting class of 15, 16, 17, 18. Let's say 20 of them. Some athletes are exceptional. You may have, like, I remember one year 3 or 4 made either the first or second unit, most of the time the second unit. Then they redshirt and everybody else. Then it was a time for development. I think now it's going to go back. Not saying that they're not developing now, but back then you had to develop players.
Yep.
And I get it. It's such a time now you got to win instantly. But I'm just wondering, will that time come back as well, or it'll be somewhere in between what we have now and what we used to have? Jim said, I think it depends on how many of your players graduate and who hits the portal. Basketball-wise, the athletic director and president has to be patient. That's why coaches prefer the portal and JUCO. Patience is an interesting word.
That's the key word in that whole comment, patience.
Yeah.
He needed to add the fan base in that also. He needed to add the fan base into that sentence.
Yeah.
Now Emmett may be patient. I get it. But, you know, this culture is ever changing. You got to win and win now. And so when you go back and we look at the other keywords, body of work, I think that helps out. Basically, to me, you have to have a AD that kind of understands it. He also understands you got to win now, but you also got to develop, and you got to have a good staff, good coaches, and support them with resources as well.
Right.
And you try to do the best you can with that. Some have, some don't, some in between. And boy, it's tough, Wheeler. It's tough. I don't know if I was AD, could I survive with my temperament?
Better have a good NIL plan. I'm hearing schools in this conference, $500,000-$600,000 basketball roster NIL money out there. Kid I was talking about the other day getting 85 from a school. You got some
in the SWAC.
In the SWAC, yeah.
Wow.
Get transferred to a SWAC.
I'd like to know that school.
And getting $85,000. I'm hearing 6 figures out there. I'm sure Coach Pettaway's hearing about it. As an athletic director, that NIL, that NIL, as Coach Morgan likes to say, got to be a big part of it. If you want to get good talent, you're going to have to pony up something.
Well,
and so I think that's the kind of a part of the landscape that we're in right now.
That ain't scored a goal. They haven't made a basket yet. Ain't made a basket yet.
Right.
But I'm giving them $85,000, $90,000.
Yeah, that's just to get them on campus. That's to get them on campus. Now, Wheeler, this is what
I don't think that's Southern University. I'll just be honest. It can't be Southern. Now, if it's somebody else, then I'm gonna look and see, are they in the top 5? Oh, I think I may know who it is. Huh. But guess
look,
what?
you-
Guess
if you
what? They got knocked out.
But
Quick.
that's what I just finna tell you. If you got enough money, you can buy yourself a regular season championship now. You can buy yourself a regular season championship.
Oh, I know who you're talking about now.
No. I'm not saying a particular school. This is what I'm saying. If you got enough money, you can assimilate an all-star team because really that's what you're doing. You're bringing in all-star kids that can play for you for that year. And then if you're lucky, you can win the conference championship and the tournament. That's all I'm saying, Carlos. And this is where I think
you're saying lucky. That's another key word, lucky. I think I know what you're talking about.
But you know what? Our fans and supporters don't understand that NIL portion and how important it is right now, because that's why we're losing so many athletes, not just in football. Look at what's happening to these basketball programs, man. These best players in HBCUs are being they are going to other schools, and it's only because of the NIL. These people are throwing around big money for these kids, man, because they got the experience. And really, just to your point, they have to score the basket for that institution, but they're going on what you're capable of doing. They're going on potential.
And that's about the size of it.
Right.
Potential with a capital P. But Jesus Christ, I'm paying $85,000-$90,000 for a kid. If you ain't walking in that door 20 and 12 tacked on your butt, you going home as fast as you came in the door.
Right. And they want the bag, man. It's different now. It is different. There's no loyalty. Okay, just like they try to say there's no loyalty in the Division I coaches. Well, I'm talking about on the Power 5 level now, because they do the same thing. They jump from program to program for the money, right? The kids are not doing the same thing. They're going from program to program because you could offer them more money. Yeah, for that bag, man.
Yeah, but you don't see coaches jumping that haven't proven themselves because nobody's buying on that.
So
a lot of times the coaches that are jumping, that are moving from school to school, are coaches who have won consistently. Yes. They've proven themselves in their arena, as opposed to kids just coming out of high school or what have you, or kids transferring from school to school that haven't really done a whole lot.
Right. And what do you guys feel is a norm? What would be a good NIL package for an HBCU for football and basketball? Separate them.
If you want me, I'm just going cost of attendance, Coach Pettaway. I'm going cost of attendance for everybody. And if we can do cost of attendance for everybody, everybody's happy, everybody's getting the beak wet, and we just keep it moving from there.
That's the point, Will.
I like to know what the cost of attendance figure is for some of our schools, because now, I don't know. I don't know what it is at Alcorn or Southern or any other school. I haven't even heard that a figure for one of our schools. Maybe somebody can chime in on that. But if you compare the cost of attendance, it's either nil and or cost of attendance compared to the $85K that a player got for going to one of our schools. And as someone made the comment, we're not even in the same ballpark. And we're talking about basketball. Remember, Alex came on a few weeks ago from Minority Baseball Prospects. He talked about the going rate for baseball. And so that's baseball. We're not even talking about football or basketball. So if we want to put it out there, let's just put it out there and compare and contrast what probably needs to happen, what could happen, what's the market. Is cost of attendance enough? No. All that has to be thrown in the bowl as well.
Well, let's look at this.
Go ahead, Carlos. I'm sorry.
Look at this. In most NILs, even we want to talk about the Power 4 and Power 5. I got a question. If it's NIL on our level, do you pay the first stringers? Do you pay some of them? Do you pay all of them? What about the second string? What about people on the team, quote unquote? Practice, players, second and third string. You know, with cost of attendance, at least you're not going to be able
getting something. Everybody's getting
something is better than nothing, right? But my question is, Coach Pettaway, if it's the starting center, we just say basketball, does he get more than the guard? The guard plays just the center can't get the ball unless the guard gets it to him, unless he's one of these European guys. I think it's uneven if you're going to play the first strings. What about the second string? What about the 6th man of the year guy that comes in? Doesn't he get some?
I think a good model is everybody gets something. I think that's a good model. But Will, I'm gonna promise you, I disagree with cost of attendance being the go-to thing. I don't think that's gonna work, and not in this day. You got to remember, Will, think about this now. We had cost of attendance before NIL. So the kids were already the programs that were given that, the kids were already used to the cost of attendance, receiving that money, right? So now you couple that with NIL, you got to have them both. I don't think you can build a championship roster with just cost of attendance.
And I'll go back to the thing once again, that we talked about a week or so ago. You know, when is it that we depended on as a family 18, 19-year-old kids to feed their entire family? You know, cost of attendance, you know, is designated by the particular institution, and then there are factors that go along with how much money you get. But everybody will get something. And that's the key right there in my mind. The softball player is going to get something. You know, the track runner is going to get something. You know, it's not going to just be relegated to just football or, quote unquote, the revenue sports. You know, and what makes it fair, you know, is the fact that it's not coming from an athletic entity. Is coming from the institution at large in terms of what constitutes the particular amount that you're going to get. You know, and the goal ain't for me to provide for your family. The goal is for me to provide for you as you matriculate through the process of going to school and getting that diploma. You know, it ain't the other way around. It ain't designed, you know, for me to feed 8, 9 kids in your particular family, that sort of thing. You know, so, I mean, I understand where everybody's coming from, you know, and I understand that this is the way of the world right now, you know, but unless we try to come up with something that's going to reward everyone, you know, then it's going to always be an issue in my mind.
And I guarantee you, every school in the SWAC is not even doing cost of attendance right now.
Probably not.
Dr. Cavill weighed in, create a budget, and hire a sports-specific general manager. And that's going on a lot at institutions
right
now, to construct a roster in partnership with the head coach. I'm listening to both sides of the discussion. Is it better to have something for everybody, at least something, or a select few? And I know in certain cases in this conference, some players left institutions because they were disappointed. Some on this particular team got something or got most of it,
and the other kids didn't, right?
It's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem.
All right, let me tell you something.
So can you boost the cost of attendance? I know it still takes financial money. Can you boost the cost of attendance? You remember we had Coach Banks on, and he talked about their goal at Southern was to get more into the cost of attendance. The NIL, I just think on our level, it's a work in progress trying to get that kind of money.
Right, you're not gonna get the big money, but if you're giving up cost of attendance and you can come up with a collective where you can do the NIL, then you can recruit and keep some of your own players. But we got institutions that's not even doing NIL. And I know we don't like to bring up Power 4 schools, but there's a Power 4 school in this state. Every one of the football players get $35,000. Every football player now. Whether you are the starter or not, they get 35. Now, of course, the starters and the big time people get more than that. But what they have done to help everybody is what you're talking about, Wheeler. Everybody starts off with $35,000.
Mm-hmm.
But now they can do that because they got to spend the $20 or $22 million every year.
Yeah.
So that's why they're doing it. And I just got this from the horse's mouth. I was just with a coach Monday night, and I asked him about what they were doing. He said that's how they keep them happy. You sitting on the bench, you don't even play, but you still got $35,000.
Yeah, but what about the basketball? What about women's
I was
basketball?
talking to football coach, so I'm not sure.
No, I understand. But see, that's some of the things will
probably
come
similar.
up.
Probably similar. So everyone on that basketball roster, the minimum might be 30. I mean, at minimum. I'm just saying the person, the number 15 player on that men's basketball team is getting, I'm just saying 30 compared to 35 with football. I'm just saying everyone's getting something on that roster is what I'm saying. We're talking about what Coach Petaway's talking about. So everyone on that basketball roster is getting something. The starting center is going to get a lot more. Your potential starting point guard is going to get more. But everyone's going to get something. And I get his point. My question is, can you mix? And again, I don't know, and maybe I could talk to our AD about it. But can you have a package where you can mix both cost of attendance and NIL and put that together as one package? Or are you paying some players just cost of attendance and others just NIL only?
Well, I this hiring of general managers and all this sort of thing and stuff, this is money better spent in other places. We spend money for the darndest things, and then don't have the dollars necessary to do the things that we need to do. Just like this search firm type stuff, that sort of thing. We'll spend $75,000, $80,000, $90,000 on a search firm to look for a coach for us. When that's money better spent going somewhere else. But then, we'll talk about not having NIL money, not having this, not having that. I think we need to take a better look at what we do have and maximizing what we do have and going from there. And I still say, once again, when do we start depending on 18 and 19-year-old kids to carry the family? Because that's what we're talking about with the NIL money. $80,000, $90,000, $100,000, $150,000 so that this money can go back to help take care of the family. When is we as a family, we're depending on 18, 19-year-old kids to bring in that kind of money to help take care of us?
Because it's out there to be made.
Yeah, it's foolishly.
Yeah, I get your point. It's out there to be made, and as long as it's out there to be made, there's going to be more of it. They're talking about roster cap, money caps in football and basketball. I don't see it. I think you're going to see a $50 million football roster. I think you're going to see a $40 million, $50 million basketball roster. I think the money's endless, but it's going to. But I say endless, and
it's not going to happen on our level just now.
No, I sure ain't. That's for sure.
Unless we wave a magic wand, and
I get that.
I don't think it's. We have to be careful who we're comparing.
Right.
Power fours and the elites, it's the have and have-nots.
Correct. Correct.
How do we survive? We meaning us.
Right.
I know we got the old. I see people in the comments, old school model versus the new. I think that's why I always take a position somewhere in the middle. Balance is what we need to do. If we need to add cost of attendance to NIL, then we'll do that. But my thing is, everybody is not going to get paid. And you're going to hear the other side say football is the engine, so they should get all of it. But then,
But just like you said, Carter,
mm,
the engine ain't driving the car. You put up something the other day, or one of us put up something online the other day that said only one FCS football program turned a profit for the year. Only
mm,
one. Out of all the FCS football playing schools, only one turned a
24.
profit.
Yeah.
That means everybody else is in the red.
and if you look at the top level, it's not like what you think either. Everybody is in the in the black. A select few, and
Right.
that select few are the ones I'm telling you. They're talking and they're leaking it out. If they don't get their way in the NCAA, they're going to say bye bye. Now, you think about those elect few. So we're here. We're not even up here. The best I think we could do is try to navigate in between, be balanced.
But
Now,
what is in
Oh,
between though?
right. That's what I'm saying. What does that budget look like? What does an in-between budget look like for football and basketball on our level? What does that look like?
that's a good question. I'll put that out to because I know he's watching Dr. Cavill. That he he does these studies. Um, but right offhand, like for example, we say Southern was what 18 million their budget, but then after expenses, it's net zero or minus sometimes. And that
No,
was probably that, but that's probably the largest budget. What's
no,
the
no, no,
lowest
no.
budget in the conference?
I'm not talking about overall, but I'm not talking about our overall budgets. I'm
Mhm.
talking about what will it take for FCS schools or particularly the SWAC schools to have in their repertoire to maintain their players on the football team and the basketball team. What does that look like?
Hmm. Cause see,
I think it varies from school to school, Coach Petaway. You
What's the
know,
minimum? What's the minimum? What's the maximum?
because we look at everybody's not even within the conference on the same budgetary level.
I
So
would.
you could say 8 million, but throw that number out there.
I mean, it's always going to fluctuate simply because, your expenses are going to fluctuate from school to school. If I'm making out my schedules, that sort of thing, I mean, some of us are playing more guarantees than others, which require us to spend more in travel, that sort of thing. So, I mean, all those numbers are going to fluctuate up and down. Our needs as an individual institution is going to vary from year to year. So it's difficult to just pinpoint and say one particular number. But I understand exactly what you're talking about,
Okay.
Coach
Okay.
Cutaway,
All right.
in terms of finding that number.
Wheeler, let's bring it home. You got an opening for a basketball coach. I'm interviewing with you. My question to you is, Mr. Brown, AD Brown, how much am I going to be given for my basketball team for NILs?
And I'm going to, for NIL, I'm
Yes.
going to say, I mean, whatever is available at that particular time. And Coach Petaway, that's probably going to fluctuate from year to year based off of monies that are raised, that sort of thing. So I'm not going to be able to sit here, Coach Petaway, and tell you in the interview process that every year you're going to get X amount of dollars. I can tell you that it's going to fluctuate from year to year. Some
Hmm.
years will be better than other years, depending on fundraising and where the dollars are coming from, things of that nature. But I would really like to have you as my uh, head basketball coach. But if we're stuck on dollars and cents from an NIL point of view, and I understand exactly where you're coming from because you're looking to survive, you're looking for longevity, things of that nature. Uh, it's going to be difficult, and I'm going to lay it out there on the line and put it on the table right there. for any coach that plans on taking a job here, that part of the game is going to be hard to play.
Right. And so the teams that I'm competing against, the top 4 teams that just finished in your league, will I be in the ballpark with them?
I'm going to say that I would like for you to be in that ballpark, Coach Pettaway, but I'm going to compensate you in other ways in case you're not in that ballpark from a financial point of view. If you're not able to get, let's say, 10 players in terms of NIL, I'm going to make sure you have enough money for 5, but I'm not going to penalize you if those other schools are doing better than you simply because they have more resources than you have. So my expectations are going to be lower for you based off of the resources that I have available for you. I'm not going to expect the championship year in and year out, and I know I'm not paying for a championship.
That sounds good until the presidents get called.
Yeah, just gonna say, does your president feel the same way?
Then they need to get off of their butts. They need to get off of their butts and throw something in the kitty also.
But see, it doesn't happen both sides of the fence, though. I mean,
that's all I'm saying.
It's coming right down to A.D. Wheeler Brown.
Yes, it is. Ain't no doubt about it. Ain't no doubt about it. Ain't no doubt about it, Charles. Yeah. And I'll be prepared for that backlash, that sort of thing. And, it may come to a point at some point in time where I may wind up having to find other employment or something of that nature. But, you got to put it out there from an administrative point of view in terms of the challenges that you're facing. And I think most of these presidents aren't privy to that. Either that or they don't want to hear it, or their hands are tied just as much as your hands are tied, and they want you to walk on water.
Right.
I'm going to throw a figure out there now that I thought about it. $500,000.
For basketball.
Not enough.
Basketball. Men's basketball. $500,000.
For NIL, that's what you're saying.
For NIL. There's a school in our league that has that. The figures out there, maybe a little more than that this upcoming season. But he got some good talent. We're talking about Bethune-Cookman. Got some good talent. He got a regular season title out of it. Didn't get it done in the tournament. But, the figure I heard was anywhere from $300,000 to $500,000. I was told recently that's going to be more than that this upcoming season. And, you got one player that was signed for $85,000 from what I was told.
The question becomes, was it worth it?
And guess what?
Was it worth
it? Wait a minute. People sat on here and in the chat room was like, well, regular season, no, you got to win the tournament, right?
Yeah.
So
somebody needs to refund some of them.
You got to go to the NCAA's, Carlos, and bring. You got to go to the NCAA's, Carlos, and bring me some money on the back end.
Oh boy, it's interesting conversation.
And now it goes back to once again creative financing. We got to find a way. I'm not saying we got to do what the Power Fours are doing, but we got to have our own kitty, man. FCS programs got to have their own kitty in order for us to survive in today's market. We got to have more than just a scholarship. I'm here to tell you now, on a consistent basis, you got to have more than just a scholarship to get these kids.
I was just sent a text message, and let's see. McNeese basketball, what they've done with their NIL, well over $500,000 for others. And then they mentioned the player Larry Johnson, $900,000. Good God Almighty, $250, $375. And I guess this was let's see, was it when
they had $3 million for Will Wade now when he was there?
Yeah, now he's gone.
Right.
But then you got to look at it. You got the casino and gambling and the oil industry. More so in Louisiana, like here in Baton Rouge, ExxonMobil.
You think I could put together a doggone good roster with $3 million? Man. $3 million. I'm not saying $3 million for basketball, but I'm saying you got to have more. You got to have more than just a scholarship now.
Mm-hmm. But correct me if I'm wrong, NIL is coming from basically outside the university.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Right? Well, and that's what I'm saying. They got gambling there, the big casino, you know. Like, let's say for Alcorn, for example, not picking Charles. What interested? They're in a rural setting.
They got casinos. Vicksburg.
Yeah, from Vicksburg, but what else you
But
have?
what am I getting for my money? I own Horseshoe.
With that kind of money,
I own Horseshoe, Carlos. I own Horseshoe Casino right outside of Alcorn University.
Watch
okay.
This casino talk is
now,
getting
what
on
am
me
I
now.
getting for that $400,000 that I'm giving the Alcorn men's basketball coach for his basketball team? What am I getting?
Access.
Championships.
I ain't getting jack.
You're getting access. You're getting access to Alcorn men's basketball. You're getting some access to Alcorn athletics, and because of that amount of money, there will be some access as far as Alcorn State University is concerned.
I'd be better off putting my name on one of them buildings so I can see myself on a regular basis. Then I'm paying $100,000 for Joe Blow, who can't give me 20 and 12 every night.
Well, that's a whole nother pathway to get a name on a building at Alcorn State University. It requires board approval or president's approval. That's a whole different pathway than it is for athletics. But if you were given that for NIL for men's basketball or football, whatever, you would have a pretty good pathway to Alcorn State University athletics. I can guarantee you.
And that. What is that worth? What is that worth? I'm not talking about Alcorn. I'm talking about any institution on our level in general. What is that worth?
What we have here is, how can I put it?
We talk
about athletics is business, but we're looking at now, and some people saying a new business model, a new model compared to the old model.
Let me ask you something, Wheeler, as an athletic director. Why isn't this being discussed more with the alumni and your fan base? And I'm saying, why? And Carlos, I don't know if we can do this. Can we get 2 or 3 ADs to come on at the same time and explain to us?
I'm for that. I mean, I have a relationships with Dr. Cable. Can Coach Banks come on? Can Dr. Jackson at Texas Southern? We've had the AD at Mississippi Valley State. I think it's a good idea. Educate me on all of this.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Being transparent. Let's talk about what does it take now to survive in today's climate.
And it's just not one. But it's not just one answer. You know.
But we're talking about NIL, though. We're talking about the connection. What does NIL mean? And I understand what Coach Pettaway is saying. And I've always been about that aspect of it, educating our fan base in terms of what's happening, what needs to be done. And I do think more of that needs to happen if it's not happening already, because we are in a bold new world, and it's going to take a lot to be able to get the quality talent that's going to take to compete. Because if not, we're going to be capped on and talked about on social media. People going to get in their feelings. People going to get mad. People going to start talking about other stuff. And then it comes back to that. But if you get the ADs and the VPs of finance involved and just explain how all that works, and the collectives, the head of the collectives, we have an 1871 collective. You know, I've interviewed him in terms of what it takes. So I think those type of interviews need to happen too, to kind of get people more educated in terms of what that's about. And I think it's happening in some cases. I think it's happening in a lot of cases. May not be at the level that we probably think, but I do think those conversations are being had, because I think it is an important thing. And I'm going to go back to the general managers thing. So you have schools that are hiring general managers, right?
Right.
But the general manager is going to get paid a good salary. And I think what Wheeler is saying is take that GM money and do and
put it in the collective, or put it somewhere else where it's going to do more benefit.
Yeah.
And I mean, you got an associate AD of finance. You just add to his duties. Look, I need for you to cover, this area, that sort of thing. And I'm just saying, let's just keep it moving from there. But we have to define, guys, who we are. Yeah. We got to define who we are, and that's not truly been put out there. And it's different for each and every institution. It's not the same. It's not a cookie cutter type idea or anything like that. We are who we are, while we're trying to do better. We know it's going to come in incremental stages, but we're not ever going to be on equal footing amongst each other. And it's just not going to happen. Just like Carlos always talk about haves and have-nots, on the upper level, it's have and have-nots on our level. That's just the way it is.
And then, Carlos, I don't think we need specific numbers. I want to know more about the process. What does it take for our fan base, for our alumni? What figures are we looking at that we need them to contribute in order to maintain a successful program? See, we keep saying, not only do you have to get the kids on campus, if you get a good player, you got to be able to keep that kid there. Keep him or her from jumping ship because of a bag. Have enough on each campus to keep your own players. That's all I'm asking about. And I don't think you have to be specific in numbers saying that at my institution, we try to raise it. No, that's not where we're at. I'm asking for. What is the process? What can our fans do? What can our supporters do to help keep our players our players?
Well, I'll reach out to some of the relationships that I have with the ADs, and let's see if we can bring them on with another guest as well from this network. We started the show late, and it's 5 after 12, so I'm gonna just put it right here. We'll still come back and talk about free coach Crenshaw. He's making he's making me look bad. He's making me look bad. And then we got the Black College Bowl and Black College All-American team set
7 in a row, baby. 7 in a row.
Yeah, but I need 14 in a row.
Oh, wow. That bar keeps moving.
I was just getting ready to say he's raising the bar.
Yeah.
Raising the bar.
That's what you do. I'm in the field of local education. That's how we do. But we'll take a quick timeout. When we come back, Coach Joshua Covington, who's been patiently waiting. He's running back coach for Southern University with some coaching experience at a HBCU, North Carolina Central. Willa, don't duck. And then the University of Colorado. So he's got experience all across. We'll talk to him, see how the running back room, what it looks like, what he inherited, what has gone on post-spring, during the spring, and then we'll ask some other questions of him, his adjustment to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Coach Covington, Joshua Covington, is coming up next, and then I guess we'll move our next guest, Ramirez Young, after that, but then we'll get into our other topics as well as what's trending. You're watching the Carlos Brown Show right here on the Black College Sports Network. We shall return.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids' apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
When it comes to professional learning, teachers deserve better. From the leader in online learning, Stride brings you the Stride Professional Development Center, an on-demand library of mobile-friendly courses that gives teachers choice and flexibility, allowing them to learn anytime and anywhere. Our dynamic courses provide bite-sized learning and help educators advance their knowledge while also gaining professional development hours. It's time you take charge of your learning. Visit us today to get started.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. HBCU.
Welcome back to this week's edition of the Carlos Brown Show right here on the Black College Sports Network. Yours truly, Carlos Brown, the coach, Coach Van Pettaway, Charles Edmond, and A.D. Willa Brown. While during the break, I sent a message in the chat room. Appreciate everybody's perspective. Conversation is ongoing, and I'm going to work immediately on that suggestion, Coach Pettaway, for next week. Now we've got first special guest, Coach Joshua Coington, running back coach. He comes to Southern University via Colorado, but also HBCU college experience, North Carolina Central. Coach Covington, good afternoon.
Hey, how y'all doing?
You're doing fine. Welcome for the first time to the Carlos Brown Show. Now, Willa Brown, I took a little shot there. He's a North Carolina A&T.
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
I'm sorry that you saw it.
Because he always tells me, Coach Covington, about that rivalry. And
hey, it's one for the ages. I remember being up in the booth beside Matthew Leone, who was the offensive coordinator there. And you just look out the window and you just see a sea of just black people, and it was just so beautiful. And I was just like, I ain't never seen anything like this in my life. It was a good experience. That got the W. We ain't mean to beat y'all that bad that year.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you on, and kind of go over a couple of things with you. first and foremost, thoughts of being on the staff at Southern University. I put it out there, and it's common knowledge. Coming from Colorado and coaching at North Carolina Central. But so far, your thoughts on being at Southern University and with Coach Falk?
Yes, sir. No, I definitely love it. It's a great experience. I mean, I've never been to Louisiana before. Never been this far down south. I mean, I grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina, so little ways away. And spent my time in the military there, and in Colorado. So those are the main two places that I've been. So I love the culture. I love the food. I mean, y'all know how to eat good down here at Southern University. I gained a little bit, so I got to get back outside and do a little more
Oh,
jogging. But no, it's definitely a blessing. I mean, first I want to just thank Coach Prime and everybody on that staff for like giving me that opportunity, and Coach Falk during that whole time. He took me under his wing. And there was times I had to get in front of the whole team and do the scouting report, certain parts of it, because I was responsible for the secondary of whoever we were playing against. And Coach Falk would put me to the side. He's like, "Hey man, good job speaking to the guys. Hey, here's how you can improve." And he did that throughout the entire year. Us on the sideline communicating, looking at the play by play, like what can we do better, what can we do next? Because I was with the tight ends at Colorado. So it's just a great experience. I'm loving it, loving every second of it.
Coach Covington, you kind of get people, and you've worked with both Coach Sanders and Coach Falk,
Mhm.
but they're two different people, personality wise.
Right.
It is. Do most people realize that they're two different persons, two different personalities? Because I think some think that, hey, he's more like Coach Sanders, but no, he's his own guy.
Yeah, no, Coach Falk is his own person. He's his own man, right? And I mean, this is how he carries himself. They two different people. Coach Prime is Coach Prime. He's Prime Time. That's who he's always been, right? Since he stepped foot on field. Like that's just always been his personality. And Coach Falk is just a different person. Not saying anything that they're doing is wrong. And it's like
Right.
I love how outgoing Coach Prime is, and Coach Falk is the same way. Like they both passionate about this game. But as
Mhm.
far as, if you were expecting Coach Falk to be like, Coach Prime when he came in, it's like, well, you clearly don't know who these two gentlemen are, right? They two different people. So they're unique in their own ways.
Right.
Hmm.
Well, with that being said, running back room.
Hmm.
Um, Talk about what you inherited. Everyone knows about Trey Holly, but
Right.
that running back room, just from the outside looking in, it's very deep. But what are your
Hmm.
thoughts about the running back room? What you inherited?
Yeah, well, like you said, Trey Holly, and he's been here. He's been the leader. He had a real good year last year. He's going to have an even better one this year. And with Barry Remo, being the Bayou Classic MVP, those two alone, those are the two guys that people know. We still have Jason Gabriel coming back. He's more of a shiftier type of back. He's somebody that you can line up, run stretch with him, outside zone with him, and then he's somebody that you can also flex out and put him in one-on-one matchups with receiver as a receiver, as like a slot guy. If it's a backer body or a safety, it's a mismatch all day. Then you also have someone who stepped up tremendously during the spring, Zacchaeus Cooper. I mean, he's been here, he's a walk on, but he's a heck of a player, hard worker. He's going to be a good bruiser for us, along with Marion Asbury. And then we got a freshman, Champ Davis. Y'all gonna see a lot of him. He is a dude, an absolute stud. He's going to do great things for us. And then Preston Kahee, he's been here, a lot of speed from him. So it's just we got a lot of guys in his back. Even Mike's coming back from injury. He's going to be good to go.
Mhm.
During fall camp. So it's a lot of names there. A lot of these guys are different. They have different traits, different things that they're good at, different strengths. So we'll be able to mix and match a lot of different things, especially with us doing this go-go offense with two back sets. We can have Trey and Champ out there, or Trey and Barry out there at the same time, and do a lot of misdirection, do a lot of screens, quick passes, quick games. Like it's just you can choose, right? There's a lot of things to do. So this backfield is deep, it's unique, like you said. I inherited a lot. The only one I was able to really recruit this year, like we got Champ coming in, who was in for the spring. He got here early, graduated early. Then we got Macario Day Jr. out of Ouachita. Um, Speedster. I mean, just a dude, run hard. People talk about his size, but I'm more looking at the other traits, his speed. I mean, you can't pass up on a kid who runs a 10-3, in his sleep and able to run the ball, catch the football, and be a good returner for us as well. So
Yeah.
it's going to be a special year in his backfield.
Now, Coach Covington, a quick education from me
Hmm.
because someone asked about the go-go offense, and
Right,
I tried to explain, but no one can
right,
explain it
right.
better than you. What's the general concept of that? The
It's just two,
go-go offense.
just two backs. It's just two backs. It's not like your traditional. Um, Well, I'll take that back. You can run your traditional two back sets, but it's just presented differently, right? So we can still run the triple option out of it. We can still do speed option. We can run two back power, one back power. Um, we can still do a lot of misdirection stuff with it. That's pretty much really from my understanding and how I view it. You can still run some of the same basic stuff that you would out of regular I formation or split back, but it's just presented differently and it puts people in conflict. That's the beauty of it. And it's people think, oh, it's a trick or dickum type of offense, and it's like, no, it's just we're forcing you to play one way, right? When we can go
Mhm.
back the other way, or we're putting a particular player in conflict and we're going to force him to play football, and one man mess up, like that's a big play, right, that they give up as well. So if for those who may want to know the base level or broader view, that's pretty much it.
And with that offense
Mhm.
passing, does it correlate with it? You can do some things in the passing
Yes.
attack.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, it'll force you to do a lot of one-on-one matchups, and with the athletes that we have, at the receiver position and even at the tight end position, um, we got guys who can run. They just natural route runners, right, and that can actually catch the football. So we're gonna force people to play one-on-one matchups. We'll be able to spread them out, like we're not gonna just solely live in two back sets. Like we'll be able to split out 2x2, 3x1 sets, and make you guys, make defenses spread the field out. And then it just depends. Hey, either you're going to play an extra in the box, you're going to throw the ball, or if you give us a light box. We got Trey Holly, Barry Remo, Champ Davis, Jason Gabriel. We got the backs that can get it done in the backfield. So, but just presented wise, base offense, that's what we're presenting.
Mhm. We visited
Mhm.
with Coach Joshua Covington, running back coach at Southern University. I only got a chance really to see in the spring, but you're talking about the sets in the running back room, but the offensive
Mhm.
line that kind of
Mhm.
jumped out to me too because it's totally different. It seems like from a physicality standpoint.
Right. No, it has to be because I mean we're we like to run the football. That's what we want to do. We want to establish the run early and often. And Nick Williams and Donald Penn, along with Ben Miles, like those guys worked extremely hard because when we came in, we were told, hey, you're gonna have to like recruit almost 12 offensive linemen in a little of 2 to 3 weeks because we only got 5 guys. All right. So when I
Wow.
say is long nights of us just making sure we like sit down and truly evaluate who it is that we want, who do we need, right? Based off of what we're trying to do with this offense, right? And then, you know, Coach Donald and Coach Nick, they have their view as far as what they see in offensive linemen, from across the board, from tackle to tackle. Um, but yeah, it was a straight grind, and those guys did an amazing job. And what you saw in spring, that's just a little tidbit. Like we still have guys coming in from the fall. Like we have two,
Hmm.
3 stars that we just that we were able to sign. Had a guy that flipped from Oregon State that decided to come play with us because he see the value, right? Not just from the coaching, but what we plan on doing with this offense. And then, of course, like it's hard to say no when you got a Hall of Fame head football coach, coaching as well. So there's just a lot of different things that they see what we're trying to bring here to Southern. They see what we're trying to do and what we are capable of doing. And I think we just recently got the center from Howard. He just he's going to be with us as well. Very intelligent, smart kid. Had a
Hmm.
lot of experience. So we got that centerpiece, right? That has the experience, that has the football IQ. Then we're able to build out, and now we got something special up front.
So, Coach Covington, when you're out recruiting, and I guess it's kind of more leans toward the upcoming years, but what do you tell the recruits? What does it take to make the running back room at Southern University when you're talking to them? And I'm
Mhm.
asking you, what does it take for this philosophy, this thing, the running
Right,
backs that's going to come into the program in the
right,
following years?
right. No, I mean, just to present a little bit more of myself, like I always try to tell a kid, like the relationship I want to establish is transformative and not transactional, right? Because I know
Mhm.
we're in the NIL world. I mean, I remember hearing you guys, speaking about it, NIL collectives, right? And the biggest thing is it's like, developing a relationship and letting you and making sure you understand that it's education first. Like we want to make sure you come into a program where hey you're going to be told to go to class, like that's a non-negotiable. That's what it is, right? So what you want a
Mhm.
good student who you don't have to necessarily babysit to get them to class. And then the second thing is just um understanding who that kid is, right? I want to make sure I have a kid that's mentally strong. Some kids got to grow, and that's our job to help these young men come in and become better men and be better than us. So that is, it's just a small little relationship that I try to create and let it build upon that. But as far as stuff on the field, doing the little things right. Playing running back is not just a position. In my opinion, it's a hobby, it's a lifestyle, it's a want to. So when it comes down to what do you do when the ball's not in your hands, right? Can you pass
Mhm.
block? Are you aggressive and protecting your quarterback? And then if you're getting out to the perimeter, aggressive, blocking for your receivers, can you catch out the backfield? And just overall vision, speed, just short area, quick bursts, just the little things, right? Like how do you perform when the ball's not in your hands, and then how do what are you doing with the ball in your hands? And so every kid has their strengths and weaknesses, and I never run away from coaching. Like if I just see, little things that they can improve on, that's not oh, I don't want that kid. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna do that, it's more of, personality, attitude, and grades. That will keep me from wanting to recruit a kid. But as far as attributes on the field, like if it can be coached, it can be coached up. And hearing Mike Tomlin say that, like I don't run from coaching, I run to it. And that's my philosophy. So um that's what it takes for me. If a kid wants to come, play running back um, here at Southern, and just with me, period. Whether if I'm here in Southern or anywhere else, that's my same motto I take with me.
Yeah, and we've often talked about, like Louisiana
Hmm.
recruiting is not just when we say locally, it's just not Baton Rouge, but the state of Louisiana. And
Yes.
there are different reports out there per capita. Louisiana has a lot of talent. It's not a state with a big population. How
Mhm.
do you find in your time here so far the prospects and the talent in Louisiana?
I mean, there's a thousand ways to skin a cat. I mean, like coming from Colorado, like you have a whole team that's just on the interwebs, on social media, looking for the particular talent within the state and without out of the state. For us, and Ben Miles did an amazing job, and that's what that's what helped all of this uh, for us to be able to put this together was Ben. Like Ben is so knowledgeable of just Louisiana because of course he grew up here. His dad, being the head man there at LSU, but getting educated by him helped out a lot. And then two, being personable, and then intentional. Like we want to make sure we recruit out of the state and hit as many schools as we can. So we try to see what's locally in the area, and then we just assigned
Mhm.
different parts of Louisiana to everybody, and we're making sure everybody's pushing out. And whether the school has talent or not, like we still want to show face, introduce ourselves, and make sure that we establish those one-on-one relationships with the coaches there, because that's what it's about, right? Is yeah,
Mhm.
you might not have any guys that that can come play here at Southern this year, but I mean that may be a 28 class or there may be a 29 class. You just never know. There's somebody that's there that can play for us, and if not, introducing yourself, establishing a relationship, so then that high school coach will call you, hey, I don't have a guy, but if you go here, he got a couple of kids. So it's just that's what helps us. So I was with Nick the other day. We was way out in Parrish, Thibodeau. I mean, we
Mhm.
were we were out there, and they had some dudes, and we were like, oh man, it's out here. it's pretty far, but it's worth the journey because you get to meet great coaches, you get to find the talent that you want that's within the state, and these kids are like excited. He's like, man, we ain't seen Southern in years, and I'm like, oh well, guess what? We're here. We're gonna be here, more often, and we're gonna make sure we connect with you guys. So,
Coach Covington, that's the River Parishes. I don't know if you
mhm.
noticed the accent. Charles
Oh
Emma
man,
might know about it.
yeah.
It's almost like 3 states in one.
You're right, right. And we was at Lutcher, and he great head football coach there. And just hearing his accent, I was like, I was looking at Nick. I was like, I don't know what did he say? I can't. I don't know what. I ain't understand what he said. Just tell me repeat that again. I felt bad because I couldn't understand what he was saying, but I love the accent. And I mean, I thought I was country. My wife told me all the time when we first dated. She's like, I couldn't understand a word you were saying for 2 weeks. That's why I always
Wow.
text you. But
Trust
no,
me,
yeah, it's dope. It's fun.
trust me. I've been here all my life, and I would be somewhat Charles lost in the River Parishes, but you pick up on it
Yes,
after a
sir.
while. Open up the panel if they have any questions for
Mhm.
Coach Covington.
Yeah, I have a question for Coach Covington. Of
Yes,
course,
sir.
you talked about the running back room. Saw Trey Holly when you saw Trey Holly when you first put your eyes on him. Of course, he's the guy a lot of people are talking about. What do you think of what did you think of Trey Holly and when you see the next development in his game? I know he was banged up at times last year, but
Mhm.
what do you see in Trey Holly?
I think Trey Holly will be able to play on Sundays. I think he has the talent, and because I'm a coach that's gonna tell the truth, right, and push you. The biggest thing we had with Trey was he needed to lose some weight. He had gained a little bit of weight. He needed to lose some weight. He was able to lose it, and it showed, right, because um he wasn't having as many hamstring issues, and you can tell just in the film the explosiveness is there, right? Trey has a unique ability to be able to see it and hit it on a dime, right, and not lose a step. The thing that we're working with Trey, and that I'm working with Trey, is he's good at pass pro. He's good at this. It's like you got to start separating yourself now, right? Because sometimes you have those athletes that can play above the talent pool just good enough, right? But Trey has such a high ceiling, like he can be here, and that's just a little small thing. So, you know, making sure he's not cutting off his inside foot, making sure that he's eliminating his false step coming out of the backfield. Like just little details like that could help give him the extra inch. And it's not just him. It's I make sure that's coached amongst the room. But Trey has just unique abilities that you can't coach. Right? He's just naturally born to do it. And I think he's going to be just fine. He showed me that he can catch out the backfield. He showed me that he's an every down back. I can keep him in there in third down, right? Or if we're doing a rotational thing, and I know Barry might be, he might need a break, right? Because we just went 3 series. Okay, hey, it's third down. It's a gotta have it situation. Trey is the guy, right? It doesn't matter what situation you put him in, he's gonna thrive from it. Mm.
Interesting.
Yes, sir.
Coach Covington, how
Yes,
has
sir.
since you played and were at North Carolina Central coaching, how has recruiting changed?
Oh, that's interesting. So that's a great question, Coach. North Carolina Central, I think being there with Coach Oliver, like Coach, it was a different strategy, and this was like when the NIL thing was really like kind of getting bigger and bigger. Like it wasn't talked about as much, but it was just handed out there. So the evaluation piece on trying to find a player's evaluation where they're at as far as dollar sign, right? We know we'll have a two different grading scales, right? We'll have a grading scale as far as his play, and his academics, and then we'll have a grading scale on where he is financially, like what can we do for him. And Coach Oliver was so unique on how he went about it. Like you could tell the man was a business major because the Excel spreadsheets. He's like, okay, hey, I was with Big Coach Cedric in the offensive line room. Like that's who I was helping out with. And he's like, okay, O-line, this is how much money you have. This is how much money is being allocated to here and there. And Coach Oliver just knew how to divvy it up to make sure we get the guys and get them just a little bit of money so that we can get them in and get them in class. That was unique, right? But then you get to Colorado, that's when it's even bigger. Now that's when I learned about collectives and NIL, how they're totally separate.
Mm-hmm.
And so now there's a whole algorithm that they use to evaluate a player financially, right? They allow the coaches to evaluate based off skills and abilities, but then now you got an algorithm where we look at social media followers and you know just
Mm-hmm.
all the different all the different things that plays into it. And so that was educative for me. Now being here at Southern, right, you got to put a little bit more into it because of just we're just low staff. Some people have to wear
Right.
multiple hats, right? Like our tight ends coach Ben is now also our recruiting coordinator. So um we go and tell kids, hey, like this is where we're working towards, this is what we have. Like if you come in to play with us at Southern and all you thinking about is dollar signs, then I mean there's nothing we can do for you, right? But you're gonna get developed because you got nothing but
Mm.
leadership and experience on this staff. So it's like, what's more important, the dollar signs that's not going to be there, it's only short and temporary, or do you want to come get developed, get film, and then potentially, possibly, somebody's going to come calling, right? That's just how it is. It's like it's almost like a feeder program now. Like even with Trey, there's no guarantee Trey will, somebody might be come knocking on the door because he's gonna have 1,000 yards this year, right? And he's gonna look better than he ever has. We got Champ Davis, he's a freshman, and I know for a fact somebody's gonna come call for this kid because he went under the radar, So it's just, and that's unfortunate. That's just what the area of college football we live in now. Um, but you learn how to adapt and navigate and pull things from different places because of those experiences, and then just move on from there. But here's a little bit more hands on.
Got
Yeah.
you. Thank you, Coach.
Well said, Coach. Better than
Yes,
I
sir.
could have said, because I don't know how much you heard when we were kind of talking about
Right.
NIL and collective, and
Hmm.
you kind of tell some of the panel lean toward this way, some lean toward that way. I
Yeah.
always try to get in the middle somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, I think so. The NIL stuff, like we have, and I said this a little while ago on the show during the Jagathon. I was saying that we already know there's a difference between the two. Like NIL, that's the legal concept, right? That's just that allows players to make money from sponsorship, social media, etc. But then you got, like you guys mentioned, the engine is the collectives. That's
Hmm.
the everything that's behind it. So that's more booster back organizations that can raise money specifically to pay the athletes. And the truth about it is NIL is just a label, collectives, the salary system. And then when you learn how to create a hybrid in there, you can go from and there's no more of like baseline everybody gets the same thing. And it's all about evaluating that player and saying, okay, where he is elite level wise, as far as that will determine how much he gets paid, and how much he doesn't get paid.
Right.
um so I think if we took the opportunity to look at the local businesses here, whether they're local or even big major brands that are here in Louisiana, creating sponsorships and just relationships, I think that'll help ease up the tension just a little bit. And then the donors at Southern, like I mean, the alumni alone is such
Hmm.
an amazing, beautiful alumni. Like these guys are very supportive. I mean, even before I even, fully got here, I had alumni hit me up, ask me, what do we need? And, I try to stay out of certain conversations because I'm just, hey, I'm
No,
running
I
back coach,
understand.
right? I
Right.
can't,
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
yeah,
information I can't give
understand.
you, but what I can say is relationships matter. And there are people who want to help this program be successful, and they've been showing it every day. So I think overall, HBCUs, whether it's the MEAC or the SWAC, depending on your local communities, right? And then just continue to communicate with your alumni. I think you'll be able to put an algorithm together. And like Coach Van said, it's like it's not across the board. Every institution is going to be different because of just the
Yeah.
amount of money that they're able to bring in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well said. Um, Another question. Anybody
Hmm.
from the panel? Okay. Well, then I'll move on. We kind of talked about several things. Um, Going into fall camp, you kind of mentioned, and it's kind of out there. You've got some players that are coming in the fall. What is the expectation from specifically the running back room going into fall camp and getting ready for the first game which
sir.
is the Birmingham Classic. I don't know if I should name it that, but Alabama State, the first game of the season. What is the expectations going into the fall?
Well, for us, right, is just making sure we maintain where we left off, right. During the spring, I try to tell my guys, look where you were, and look where you are now, right. There's a huge difference because we grew, right. We grew from the experience, from practice, from learning this offense, right, but also just learning football. We did a lot of football one-on-ones and also the fundamentals to make sure that everybody's at the central base. We got everybody together and we're pulling in the same direction. Now let's build off that. So don't slack off, right? Coming into the fall, I need everybody to maintain where they were and, you know, make sure that during that time while we're away, because we're going to come back together and do, summer workouts before we get to fall camp, but just maintaining that base where we finished off from the spring. And then, the physicality, right? It's fall camp. It's, NFL mini camp OTAs, like we're going to get after it. And that's when we start establishing, the depth as far as where our starters, secondary, who's our second guy, second string, third string, whatnot. It's still a competition, right? No one's got a starting spot. No one is the guy. Like, no, everybody needs to continue to compete. So my expectations is I want everybody to be able to come in healthy, right? And have the mentality that we're going to continue to work. You want to earn a starting spot, right? And if you're not on the starting spot, you need to be earning a spot on special teams because that's how you get on the bus. And all my guys, I tell them they all doing special teams. It's not going to be not one person that don't because where we are, if you're trying to make it to the NFL, like they want to see that. I have scouts tell me all the time, like, okay, what special teams do we play? And if they say none, then it's, you kind of hurting yourself. Building on the football IQ, and making sure like we remember the plays within the offense and just be ready to come and compete. Like that's my expectations because I want us to. Our goal is to lead the FCS in rushing. Like that's something we've been talking about since we got here. We want to be able to lead the FCS in rushing because there's way too much talent on this football team alone for us not to be able to do that. So,
One
and
quick
that's what we
question.
expect. Yes, sir.
One quick question, Coach Covington. I know it's all about looking at your room, the team, Southern University football. Do you guys kind of peek out at the other teams in the conference competition, or are you just exclusively looking at what you guys have to do?
Well, we exclusively look at what we have to do. I mean, because we try to keep be where our feet are, right, and be focused on our guys and making sure like they're prepared and giving them the tools to be ready. If we looking outside elsewhere, like we're looking at defense. Like right now, I'm in my office. I've been on Alabama State. I've been on their tail for 2-3 months now, watching film. I done plugged in data from their whole season, and I'm going through, just writing down all the little tendencies that they do on any, the down and distance personnel. If it's a fast motion, how do they adjust to it? Like all these different things. I'm trying to throw the kitchen sink at them. So it's we focus on our guys making sure they're prepared, and if we look outward it's like, okay, hey, let's look at this defense and see what we got up against us, right? And what can we do to them? Where are the holes? Where are the gaps? That's when we look out.
See, you see, panel, that's why coaches are coaches. Everybody else, my eyes peeking at, because I know Jackson State, they've had success, right? FAMU. But guess what? See, that's the beauty of having a new staff. They don't have time for all of that. They're focusing on them. And my last question is, Coach, this is
Yes,
kind of
sir.
on the human resources part. What is your favorite food since you've been in Louisiana?
Ooh, etouffee.
Oh, I
I
knew
never
it. I
had.
knew you was
I
gonna
never
say
had
that.
it. I never had it before. I never had it before. Catfish, yeah, catfish. Everybody got catfish. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's I say, well, but etouffee, I ain't never had that before. That man, I've been craving for that all the time. So every time I go to one, the restaurants, I always ask, y'all got etouffee in here? That's what y'all
Yeah.
make that? All right, cool. I want that. That's what
What
I
about
want.
crawfish?
Oh,
I haven't had that yet, but I am gonna go for that one though.
You need to
I'm
try
definitely
some.
gonna go for that.
You need to try some crawfish, Coach.
What's the best spot to go? What's the best spot to go? I'll
Oh
go
my
today.
goodness, Tony's.
Don't okay.
Tony.
Say less.
not,
That's everybody. Yep, that's it. Then you the
not,
third person that done told me that, so that's where I'm
Yes,
going.
sir. Yes, sir.
Whoever, if y'all watching Tony's, I'm on my way.
you know, And Coach
Yes,
Covington,
sir.
that guy that just asked you about crawfish, he can put them away. Trust me.
Yeah. Oh man, we got to set something up then. We got to set something up.
Oh
You keep
yeah.
talking some more. That bunch of crawfish. Keep talking. Yes, sir.
Coach Covington, we
All right.
appreciate the time. I guess we
Yes, sir.
covered a lot. We probably could have gone
Mhm.
another 30 minutes, but appreciate the time. Welcome to
Yes,
the
sir.
staff. And it's good because the Jaguar Nation, they need to know. They need to get to know the personnel on the
Right.
staff. And
Right.
I will be applying to get others on the staff.
Mhm.
Boy, I tell you, the offensive lineman, Coach Penn, that's an intimidating guy. I mean,
DP. You
I did
love
the
DP.
handshake. I did the handshake, and my dad say always shake a man's hand. Like
Right.
when I see Will, I'm gonna shake it hard. But my goodness, he's strong.
He'll be man. He's hey some of the best feet. Some of the best feet to ever do it. Like that. I remember watching him play
Oh yeah,
growing up and just seeing how quick he was. Man, I'm just like that. That dude can go. I love Coach DP. Yeah.
and a nasty
hmm
disposition on the
hmm
field. I think it translates.
Yeah.
I
It
think it
does.
translates.
It does.
Have
All
a
right.
great weekend, Coach Covington. We appreciate it,
Yes, sir.
and hopefully we'll be able to talk to you again real soon before
Yes, sir.
it gets busy for you guys.
Yes, sir. No, I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity being on here. I want to, just thank Coach Falk, Coach Prime. I mean, everybody, even Coach, Trey Oliver, Matthew Leone, Brett Bartolone, all these guys that helped shape me to who I am today. I'm a man of faith. I thank God for this opportunity. Y'all gonna get, Southern alum fans, Southern fans. Y'all gonna get the best out of us. Like we all want what we want. What y'all want, right, is to win. And yeah, we're all happy to be here. So thank y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you,
Appreciate it,
Coach
Coach.
Covington.
Yes, sir.
Good luck, Coach. Good luck.
Appreciate you. Y'all be blessed. Thank you.
All right, you too. Well, very interesting conversation. Got the other guests lined up. We're going to go a little longer because we started a little longer. Um, hopefully, approval from CEO and producer today, and so we'll get everybody in, and then we still hot topics. Oh, thank you. Softball reaches 30 wins for the third time in school history. Southern baseball 11-7 over UAPB. Tied for fourth, Charles. Number 3. What was the criteria for Carlos Browns to finish in the top 4
Top 4.
and make a deep run in the tournament? Well, I may be eating crow. I may be eating crow. I
Put
may
some
be eating
put
crow.
some Sweet Baby Ray's on it. You'll be all right.
But you know what? I'll be glad to eat crow because in the bottom line, you want them to do well. Am I a believer now? We shall see. Let's take a quick time out. Then Ramirez Young comes up next as our guest, and then we'll Black College Football poll and Black College All-American team set to debut in 2026. What an uproar on social media, Coach Pettaway, about this. Not to me. No, not to me.
Yeah.
But somehow I'm going to come at Will on this one because I believe Willa believes in HBCU football, but he also likes that mean streak of being productive in the FCS overall. Do you want to be more than SWAC good? That's the question we put out there in all sports. In some sports, we're closer, Wheeler, than others. So we'll mellow around with that as well. You're watching the Carlos Brown Show right here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be right back.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically Black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU story with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU Image, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
Welcome back to this week's edition of the Carlos Brown Show, right here on the Black College Sports Network. Yours truly, Carlos Brown, the AD, Willa Brown, Charles Edmond, who's always trying to start something. Coach Fedaway, former basketball coach at Alabama A&M. Now, next guest is Ramirez Young. He transferred into Southern University. Able to participate in the spring practice. Ramirez, good afternoon. How you doing?
I'm blessed. Thank you for having me on.
We appreciate you coming on. Kind of want to talk about your recruiting process. How did you end up at Southern University? What did it take for you to get here?
Well, whenever I entered the portal for my Division II, I had a lot of trouble initially because we didn't win too many games, and I was coming from playing tight end. So my first year of actually playing O-line with a triple option team. So I entered the portal. I didn't have too many looks, and then I got a couple offers, and Coach Penn called me. And really, he just kept in touch with me throughout my entire process, whether it was going on a visit to another school. He just made sure like I was getting treated right, whether it's from him or another school. And then I went on a visit there, and everything was real family like. Like most visits I went on, it was ever like all the coaches telling me how good I am. He just made sure that he knew that I knew that he was a coach as well as a father figure, and that he was going to be there for me as well as on the field, but off the field as well. And that more so brought me to the attention of the opportunity that I had at Southern University.
So it felt more like family, and the Coach Penn and the coaching staff made you feel welcome. And it's interesting, you said all the other coaches told you how great you were. Sounds like Coach Penn and said, come here and we'll help you get better.
Yeah. He told me that I got some work to do, and that he believed that if I had my head down and I worked my tail off, he said I could do great things. And as well as the other coaching staff, they had the same exact things to say.
See, panel, that's interesting. You know, everybody, Willa, I can tell Willa how great he is, but guess what? He's going to have to show me. And we're not focusing on that. We're just focused on coming, contributing, and getting better and getting developed.
Mm-hmm.
Develop. That's what I like. That's what I like. We not promise you anything. We just promise you an opportunity and to get better. So with that being said, you guys just focus on the spring. I only got a chance to see you in at the spring spectacular spring game. How did the spring process go for you? And was there a big adjustment from Division II to the FCS level?
I would say there was a great adjustment because coming from Division 2, like I would say I'm good at football, but there's a game inside of football that Division 1 to Division 2 is a jump. So I was
Mhm.
as well as like learning the mechanics and the higher techniques. I had to learn more knowledge, like grow my knowledge of football, and I'd say throughout the spring, it went very well. Coach Nick and Coach Penn really honed in on technique and growing my knowledge, and as many questions as I wanted to ask, they didn't shy away from them. Any work that I wanted extra, they really honed on really getting me better, and I would say from my last spring to this spring, I'm a whole new player.
The physicality. How was that? Were you rated on the scale of 1 to 10?
I would say it's a lot more physical. They don't like Coach Penn does not like softball linemen. I'll tell you that. He
Mm-hmm.
he really their big thing is we have to be physical, 100%, no matter what you do.
Hmm. Um,
So
you also have new teammates that came with you. From the Porter JUCO. How did you guys develop on the field, but also off the field?
man, the very first day they had us call our names up, meet and greet, and ever since then it's been like brothers. Like we hang out on the field, off the field, play the game together, go out to eat, study together. It's nice. Like there's not a moment where even from like the first day that we weren't really connected. Like we were all like coming close together, and now it's like we're brothers, like we're a family.
Now, I think I did get a chance to meet Coach Nick, run game coordinator, I believe. We just had Coach Covington on talking about the go-go offense. It's still relatively. I have to understand more about it, but it seems to be a physical. He says kind of run first. Um, what do you think will be the expectations in the summer and then into fall camp for the O line?
I would say we definitely they have expectations for us to grow and get to the point where all like our calls and everything we're on the same exact page. Remember, like and our technique is all one level because coming in spring we have transfers, guys who never really played together. Obviously, it's things to learn, but by the end of fall camp, we all gonna be a one complete unit, and it's gonna be great.
Questions from the panel.
Yeah,
For
I got
Ramirez.
one. Ramirez, you say you used to be a tight end, so that means you got hands. So now I need to know: has basketball been in your past?
Yeah, I played basketball for 1 year. My main sports was wrestling. I was
Okay,
a
I
big
got
wrestling guy and a track guy, shot put.
you.
So
Okay.
from my wrestling standpoint, that's where the athleticism came in because that constant repetition of training and athleticism transferred to the college where I started at tight end.
Yeah, because I think during my career, three different tight ends played for me. That's why them tight ends got some hands and they got that physicality that I be looking for on the floor. That's good, man. But
Yes,
congratulations
sir.
and welcome to the SWAC, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
So,
Yeah,
also have a question.
yes, I do. Ramirez, you talk about the speed of the game coming from the level that you did compared to where you are right now. Talk about the speed of the game and just the physicality there, the comparisons. And then we're still learning this go-go offense in terms of schematics. What about blocking in this go-go offense? Is it more challenging? Is it a little easier? How would you describe that?
Okay, well, coming from Division 2 to Division 1, the guys like in itself are a lot bigger and faster, and I would say it means a lot more to them because like you know whenever you play a guy they're out there, but they're not really in the game. In Division One, everybody has something to prove. Everyone is trying to get to that next level, get to the NFL. In Division Two, it's not like that. So I would say it's an adjustment, but it's one that I've made very quickly, and the physicality standpoint is crazy difference. Like it's every single play at this level. There's no plays off. There's no slacking off at all. You have to have 100% every single play, and it was not like that at the Division Two level.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is because people that I've talked to that play D2 NAIA, they say the competition at those lower levels is a lot tougher because you're hungry to get to that next level. But so you're saying at the D2 level, based on who you've dealt with, sometimes it's just, I wouldn't say going through the motions, but the passion seems to be different.
Yes, sir. The passion of where I've been to where I am now, I would say where the people that I'm around now and the people that I've had to face, they want it a lot more. Like it means a lot more to them. Like it's not just a game. Like it's something they grew up on. It's something that is their life. You know.
Wow.
Yeah. Understandable. Your goals going into, I guess you'll be back in the summer time and working out what do you want to get better at going into the fall camp?
Going into the fall, I would say my main goal is my weight and my size.
Mhm.
My goal from now until fall camp. Obviously, summer workouts I'm going to get bigger, but I'm gonna try to put on like a good 10 pounds, get my body as strong as possible, hone in on my playbook, and basically just give myself the best chance to succeed during the fall.
Oh, wait a minute. Wow. What let me guess. 6'3", 6'4"?
6'3", yes sir.
Okay, got that one right. Weight wise. 290.
292.
And you want to get bigger and stronger. Oh, go ahead.
Yes sir. So around like 300, 305, I feel like I'll be real comfortable where I could dominate.
To be young again. To be young again, man. We're worried
I'm
about the
telling you.
opposite. We're worried about the opposite, not the game, not the game. But I
Yes sir.
understand. I understand it. Now, when you took your recruiting visit, and I always ask all of the recruits, I asked you about the campus, what you thought about the campus, but just coming in for that recruiting trip.
But
How
I'd
was it?
say
Did you immediately say, that's it? This is where I want to be. Although I've heard different things, but just to be there.
I'd say definitely that the trip that I went on to Southern was one of the best ones I've ever had. Like since I got off the plane, it was love and excitement, and I was welcomed with open arms, and it was talks of just everyone was joyful, like it was football, but it was also a family aspect, like as I brought up earlier. And I feel like more like nowadays recruits like going on visits. I hit the portal. It's about money, but it was nothing about that at my visit at all. It was about my opportunity to play and where they think that I could be if I worked. It wasn't based off money. It wasn't based off what I can do now. It's what I can do in the future, and that's what I loved about the coaches in Southern University.
Yeah. And the next question is coming, panel. How about the food on the visit? I have recruits said that was also that got him hooked. The Blue Store, the chicken wings, we mentioned that before, but the culture and the hospitality.
Now the food was something else. Coming from Tennessee, everything's is just way, way, way better down in Louisiana. It's more seasoned, more flavorful. It's great.
I asked the question. I kind of knew the answer based on different people we've interviewed. If they hadn't tried it, they were going to try it. Last but not least, and we appreciate your time. What is your personal goal for this 2026 football season, which kicks off week 0 against Alabama State?
Man, my goal is just to dominate every play. I'm coming in hungry, especially coming from the lower divisions. I got something to prove to everyone. Um, uh, I'm coming for my personal goal is to get all conference All American, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get to that level.
Mhm. Hey, I understand that's a good goal and a high goal, but one you work for, it is uh, achievable. Uh,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Young, Ramirez Young, we appreciate the time and look forward to following you up throughout your career at Southern
Yes, sir.
University.
Thank you.
All right, thank
Thank you.
you. All
All
Hmm.
right.
right.
Good luck to you.
Good
Yep.
luck. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yep. Good luck,
Hmm.
man.
You know, it's interesting. I like talking to different young student athletes. Everybody' goal is not the same, but this young man says, "Look, I got to come in. People told me how great I were, or I was, but I got to work. I can't worry about that. I got to come in and work and get it done." You kind of like those type of student athletes, Coach Pettaway.
You
'Cause-
doggone skip it, man. That lets you know that he understands what's going on, man. I really like that. And I
Well,
you
wish
you
know,
know,
more
on our level, Carlos, we're gonna make you prove it every day.
yeah,
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 that's just the essence of playing football. HBCU wise, that sort of thing. You gotta bring it every day from the time you step on in the locker room to the time you step out. That's just how it is.
yeah. And you know, society and culture tells you you're outstanding from the high school level. You were the big man. But you know, he went to Division Two, got something to prove. Now FCS got something to prove. And I'd rather somebody like the panel tell me, Carlos, that segment sucked. You give me what I need to hear. And I think that's what he's gotten.
Hmm.
It's gonna be
right.
interesting to be able to follow him. Like I said, I only got to really see them at the spring game. But you know, you see some differences, not just from the physical standpoint, but from the mental standpoint. With that being said, Ramirez Young, our special guest. Southern baseball, 11-7. Came back on UAPV. Now they're a three-way tie for fourth. As I stated earlier, I'm
Get the contract
cautious,
ready.
cautiously optimistic.
Get the contract ready, Carlos. Get
Yeah.
it
And we
ready.
explain to people
Get
when
it
we say
ready.
free
Get it
Crenshaw.
ready.
Yeah, free Crenshaw now. Free.
Get it ready.
And you know what? I'm the type of guy. If all of these are met, I'm gonna come up to him and shake his hand. I was wrong. I was wrong.
He was ready to shake your hand last week.
Oh, I'm always gonna shake somebody's hand.
He was looking for you in the press box. You know where to be found.
Hey, they did have to come back though that first game
Yeah,
against
they did. They
against
did.
Alcorn. Black college football poll and Black college All American team set to debut in 2026. I got the official announcement to my email. Just your overall general thoughts, because I don't know it. For some people, that's a segment that are always going to complain, not satisfied. But I think, Willa, this is something that hey, it's put out from our level, and I think it's a good thing. They've got different polls out there, but it's gonna be interesting to see about this one. You're gonna have all American teams, Division II, Black college football, then FCS Division I, and it said in the press release a select few of media will do it, and then also the commissioners. What are your general thoughts on it?
Well, who's
I think
doing it?
you got. Go ahead, Coach.
No, I was asking who. I haven't seen it. Who's doing the poll?
Well, let me pull it up because I got the release from the Southwestern Athletic Conference, but you can go
Mhm.
ahead and talk.
Oh, it came from the conference. Okay, good.
I think
Yeah.
you got to be mindful of your credibility. You got to have credible people that are, doing the judging and doing the picking, that sort of thing. Hopefully they're putting the criteria out there in terms of, how they're coming up with whatever it is that they're coming up with. Uh, I don't think you can combine the three divisions simply. I mean, the two divisions simply because the football is kind of different on those levels. Yeah, I just think that as long as you keep that separated, you'll you'll wind up being a lot more credible. Uh, but I mean, I'm all for it. As many entities as we can get that's going to pump up our sport, I think there's nothing but positives there. No doubt about that. But like I say, you just got to make sure that the people doing the picking and the choosing are credible people. They're knowledgeable people. They're really going the extra mile in terms of research and things of that nature. And I just think those things are of utmost importance.
A little bit of parts of the official statement. The commissioners of the four HBCU conferences released a joint statement highlighting the significance of the newly created Black College Football Poll and the Black College Football All-American team.
Mm-hmm.
Quote, we're extremely excited to partner on the formation and creation of the Black College Football Poll and Black College Football Team All-American team, the statement said. They also go on to say we view this strategic alliance as a game changer for our respective leagues and undoubtedly a significant step in the right direction toward unifying our collective conferences as it relates to preseason, postseason polls, and awards while simultaneously recognizing the best Black college football teams and student athletes at the highest level. Now, you're right. It's separate. NCAA Division II, CIAA, and the South SIAC, and then, of course, the SWAC and the MEAC. And it debuts July the 1st. So I guess they'll have a preseason. I think it's a good thing. Now,
Mm-hmm.
who's the select media? Charles, breaking news. Is it you
Oh
on
no,
the select media?
no, sir. No, sir. And before I get to that, Carlos, I want to just put some people out there that this has kind of been done before. Dr. Cavill, he was on your show way back in the day with his poll. People like Donald Ware, Dr. Cavill, even Fulford and AD Drew. They cover the SWAC, the MEAC, D2, all of that, CIAA. So this has been done, and I just hope that they use some of that knowledge to make sure that this is a fair, using your term, Carlos, fair and balanced poll, because there's going to be some discussion. I'm anxious to see who's going to be doing the voting. One who won't be doing the voting is Charles Edmond. Charles Edmond will not, because Charles can't give it what it deserves. I'm a SWAC guy. I cover the SWAC. I cover Alcorn. And do I peek at what's going on in the MEAC? Do I peek at what's going on in the SIAC? Yeah, I do. But in order for me to be fair about it and to be credible about it, no, I would not. If asked, I would, respectfully decline, because I wouldn't give it what it deserves. So I just want to put those names out there, because this poll somewhat has been done before. And so I just hope that they get people that are properly credentialed with credibility to be able to help put a good poll together, something we can cuss and fuss and discuss about, but has some credibility behind it as well. And I think that's, we talk about voting in the SWAC, who votes for these preseason teams, SIDs, the head coaches, that sort of thing. So I'm that's my thing about it. I won't be on it, but I'll be following it. And I just hope that you get a good thrust of media members who do cover these different divisions, and that we can all cross over and debate in terms of who should be on these teams and on these polls.
I'll tell you what I would like to see. What I would like to see is us get away from automatically crowning the coach who wins the conference or who wins this as the coach of the year. I think, if you really want to provide some, I ain't gonna say interesting stuff, but you really want to do it right, You want to look at other kinds of criteria outside
Mhm.
of the coach who wins the Eastern Division
Mhm.
or the Western Division or, the regular season, that sort of thing. I mean, you got a lot of coaches that are doing good things in terms of improving, their squads from one year to the next, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like in basketball, if you got a 10, 12 game turnaround from the year before, to me, that should be part of the criteria in terms of coach of the year for that
Mhm.
particular person. So, I would just hope that they would look at things from that point of view.
Yeah, be kind of outside the box
Yeah.
because we had a discussion a couple of months ago about Coach Gilbert. If we were doing it, he would have strong
Mm-hmm.
consideration of Coach of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
To your point, we go on preseason predictions, right? Prognosticators. How about some more awards consideration with a coach that team was predict eighth,
Mm-hmm.
or and then man, they finished in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
They finished third. Strong
Mm-hmm.
consideration because they have really did a
Mm-hmm.
great improvement. So to your point, Will, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully that will be added to that.
Mm-hmm.
To be
Uh,
discussed on the front end. Now, all that as they're putting this together, as they're putting the panel together, that needs to be put out there as they're coming up with the criteria on the front end
Mm-hmm.
and
instead
they
of
should consider it. They should
right.
Mm-hmm.
consider it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If that's what they want to do. And to your point on the women's basketball, it's not automatic that the regular season champ gets
Mm-hmm.
coach of the year. It's whoever has the best improvement. If they were picked, like you said, if you're picked ninth and you finish second, there's strong consideration. Now, I think on the men's
Mm-hmm.
side, men's basketball, if I'm not mistaken, it's still
Automatic.
regular season. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that'll be discussed or not. I doubt it. I mean, if I was just to guess.
Sometimes, guys, we just take the easy way out. And it's a lot more simpler,
Yeah.
to do it the way that they've been doing it, that sort of thing. It takes a lot more work, to
Yeah.
really research it and what I call doing it right.
Yeah.
Well, why not consider it? I know sometimes the tradition, but on the front end, why not consider that as part of the criteria?
Mm-hmm.
I
Too
mean,
much work.
we're good at cussing and fussing and debating. If you had a criteria team for that, I would put myself on that one.
Too much work involved for us. Yeah, you have to do a little digging. You have to do some work to kind of go over what coach has the biggest improvement. There's a little bit of work involved with that. You got to have your SID involved. If there's a little bit of work, coaches are worried about coaching. But on the women's side, it's a little bit more, I wouldn't say emotional, but I guess emotional, and you're looking at the ebbs and flows. But on our side, hey, you win regular season, hell, you deserve coach of the year. Hell, take it. But I think on the women's side, it's a little bit more debate, a little bit more, they have a little bit more teeth into it, I think.
Yeah, say it that way. I've learned don't use that word emotional. Coach Pettaway, when you talk about ladies, watch that because you'll get in trouble about that. So I say use your words importantly as I look around. Team standings in baseball. 116 Central Standard Time. Bethune-Cookman, what a race. 3rd and 12 overall. FAMU 15-4. Texas Southern 14-5. And I just clicked off the schedule on that.
Florida A&M yesterday. That was the first place. That's probably the series of the year in the conference.
Yeah.
Florida A&M and Tallahassee. But Bethune is showing that they are the best team in the conference. There's no question about that. But you can have a debate about 2, 3, 4, 5. Southern's in that debate now. So we'll see down the stretch. Got about a month left in the regular season.
Yeah, I got it back. Texas Southern at 3rd, 14-5.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got 3 tied for 4th place. Southern 12-7. Pine Bluff 12-7. FAMU and Bethune-Cookman, a huge series going on this weekend. Also, Arkansas Pine Bluff at Southern University. Southern took game 1. Then Alabama State, a game behind 11-8. Jackson State 8-11. Valley 7-12. Prairie View 3-16. Alcorn and Alabama A&M tied for last with 2-17. Today's schedule, they've already kicked it off in Tallahassee. According to Division1Baseball.com, Bethune-Cookman and FAMU scoreless in the top of the first. Valley is over Alabama State 1-0. Then at 3 p.m. is Texas Southern and Prairie View. Jackson State and Alabama A&M 3 p.m. Jackson State leads the series 1-0. That's in Huntsville, Coach Pettaway.
Yeah. You
Arkansas,
sure it's in Huntsville?
Well, that's what they're reporting.
Oh,
Huntsville,
yeah.
Alabama, baseball, Bulldog Field. Southern and Pine Bluff later today. Weather delay, Alcorn. Did they play early, Charles?
Yeah. Well, see what they did. They were anticipating some weather yesterday. They played
starting early.
doubleheader, but the second game got delayed because of weather, so they're picking that up, and then they'll play game. They'll play game 3. Softball was able to get it in, but baseball started a little later, so they Mother Nature caught them.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. You're right. The weather delay. 10-8. Alcorn is only down by 2.
Yeah. We're swinging the baseball a little bit better, but pitching is still pitching. You still got to get 3 outs. And as Coach Hardy has been telling me the last 2 weeks, until we get 27 outs, until we're successful with that, it's going to be a struggle.
27 outs, that's a standard.
27 outs. I try to tease him about it. I said, look, man, let's just get the first out first, and then we get excited. Let's get 1 out, and then we get excited. Let's get out number 2 and get excited. Let's get out number 3 and get excited. Let's get through the first inning. So that's kind of the way he's looking at it, pitch by pitch.
Coach Pettaway, I'm going to enact the Carlos Brown contract for Alcorn State baseball. He needs help.
Yeah,
he needs help.
Hey,
He
you
needs
can
2
spend
more
some of
years.
that love to Huntsville too. Now we need help.
Ding, ding. We ring the bell. We're gonna send it to Huntsville. Yesterday's schedule: 11-4, Grambling of Alcorn State. In 7, Jackson State.
Yeah,
Alabama and 18-1. Wow, Texas Southern over Prairie View 13-0. Man, it was football scores yesterday. Series of the week: Bethune-Cookman goes to Tallahassee. Good team, Bethune. 4-3. And then, of course, Southern over Pine Bluff 11-7, and Alabama State over Valley 11-3. Well, we need to wrap it up. Softball, Southern University, 30 wins for the 3rd time in school history, 3-1 over Prairie View. G Boom, it's gonna be all right. It's a doubleheader today. He's a big Prairie View alumnus, and he follows all those sports teams. We talked about the Black College Football Poll, Black College All-American team. We had guests, Coach Covington, very impressive. Yep. Very impressive. And Ramirez Young, also very impressive. He basically said, look, I was all that in Division II. I got to prove myself. I got to come in and work. He almost sounded like he played basketball for Coach Pettaway. Some of his because they were always tough. And it's a few more topics we didn't put on the docket, but Willa, things going on in North Carolina A&T from an academic documentation's perspective. Willa, I take that very seriously. And, I look at social media, but sometimes you just got to turn it off. And here's why. Some people are making fun of situations that happen. Because I'm a Southern alum, and I've seen it happen. I don't make fun about that. That's serious business. And so for all of those schools that find themselves in that type of trouble, there is hope. You got to invest. And at the end of the day, there's personal responsibility for the student athlete. I don't like to bring this up, but there are people in the situation I was. You were an older student, you have to work 40 plus hours, plus be a full-time student, and plus you may have to care for family members.
Right.
That's serious. But
Mm-hmm.
a student athlete that doesn't have to deal and go through that,
Mm.
it's just to go to school. He may work a little bit where time permits, and then you participate in an athletic sport.
Mm-hmm.
Take it seriously. You can do it. You can do it. And one of the things the professor told me, time management as a student athlete is so important.
That's it. Number
So
one.
I'm not saying cut out fun. You go and you have fun. You're away from home sometimes for the first time, but put it in a necessary order.
Mm-hmm.
It's books, then training, then whatever sport you participate in. And then there's a third piece. You make yourself happy and you make your parents proud.
There you go. There you go.
That's all I got to say, gentlemen.
Yep. Hey, Carlos, last thing. Has it been confirmed yet about Mike Davis?
It's a release.
I believe so.
I think it's a release. Yeah.
Oh, they have released it.
Yeah.
Wow, we can go another hour with that. Had some success, but then didn't have success. But Valley has their new coach.
Well, it depends to me on how you want to look at it. I think Mike Davis is a good coach, first of all.
Oh yeah.
But some people are going to look at it as, well, we're getting a Mike Davis that was fairly successful at Texas Southern. You can go back to UAB. You can go back to Kentucky. Or some people are going to look at it, man, Mike Davis didn't do a thing at Detroit. And so, and that was his last stop in Detroit, and he did not have success for whatever reason. But I think Valley is looking to raise the bar. Somebody was telling me the other day that Dr. Gaston is not looking at the same recycled names of coaches. They're kind of going outside the box a little bit with Mike Davis, even though he's been in this league. So I'm anxious to see, what improvements, more resources for Valley men's basketball, and we'll see how that works. But if he gets his players in there, Mike Davis has proven that he can coach and he will improve Valley basketball. What's the expectation from the AD and the coach? Is it 6-12, 7-11 from what they were? What's the expectation for Valley?
I mean, that's the real key. I mean, it's at the end of the day, the expectations can't be too high if the resources aren't going to match the expectations. Mike Davis is a good coach. I would say he's borderline great coach. But we only know that we're only as good as the resources that we have to work with. So to expect him to come in and in today's climate, I don't know that Valley has any NIL money available, that sort of thing. I mean, Mike Davis is not going to wave a magic wand and then all of a sudden, kids who were going somewhere else because of NIL, now they're going to come to Valley because Mike Davis is there. If they chasing the bag, they chasing the bag. So it's going to be interesting to see, like I said, if the resources match the quality of coach that you're trying to bring to the table.
Yeah. Right. They finished 3-30 last year, so
there's nowhere to go but up.
Go up.
But when Coach Pettaway, and I think about what Charles said, it's going to be based on the conference season, right?
Yeah.
So a third of the season I don't even look at because I don't have to go look and research it. It's not just Valley.
Yeah.
The way here we go again, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. After that non-conference schedule, you come into a realization it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough.
Yeah.
0-12, 1-11, you just name it. You just name it. And I hope one day we'll have that balanced attack we talk about. A few money games, a few games on your level, and a few that you have a chance to win. I'm more excited. I may pay more money. I go to the games. Me and my best friend basketball, we don't get a We don't get in there for, don't pay anything. We pay. So I'm more excited to kick out some money if my team is 8-5, or something like that. And then, of course, the conference games, they are what they are. They'll take care of them.
I would hope that they will get the football numbers up so that they can play decent guarantee games in football, which would potentially take some of the pressure off of all the guarantees that the basketball team has to play. But you gotta take it step by step. But the first thing, like I said, get those scholarship numbers up in football so that football can be qualified for a larger guarantee game. They ain't got to play as many, but at least they'll be able to get more money, which will take some pressure potentially off of basketball.
And that good point. And if you look at Valley's non-conference scheduling football, it's been tough.
Yeah, it has. But
Arguably,
you can't get the big money.
Right.
You
but
move
arguably,
to South Dakota State for $200,000, or you could potentially go Mississippi or something like that for $400,000 or $500,000.
I think they're playing Sacramento State.
They are September the 12th.
Ain't much money coming from out there, is it?
No, but right. But my point was, from a competitive standpoint, the Austin Peas, they played them. You can argue their non-conference schedule have been tougher than I'll put it this way, I won't name institutions, some of the teams in the conference.
Yeah.
But to your point, resources wise, they don't have it in scholarships.
Mm-hmm.
And next week we'll talk about, are you ready to be better than SWAC?
Ready.
We're gonna bring that up. Yeah, because I see people talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I did get a threat from a Jackson State fan last week when I said I love to see them non-conference play some of the teams we're talking about. But Coach Pettaway basically told me, mind my business. They happy where they're at. They're happy where they're at, and they still win championships. And their goal is to win the Celebration Bowl.
What they say, be out of my business, be out of my business.
Oh, they said it a little tougher than that.
Yeah.
When I get back in Jackson, I might have to employ another 2 bodyguards. It's all good, though. The discussion we have, sometimes there's no wrong or right. Just having that discussion it's good. Coach Pettaway, quickly. Someone asked me, I don't hear any NBA talk. Is it because Miami is out? You mind your business. You mind your business, but quickly, Coach Pettaway, quickly. I promise this.
Well, I like the Spurs. The Spurs are playing well without their big guy. And then, of course, I think the Nuggets are in trouble because the Timberwolves, they're coming on strong. For all the New York fans, Coach Graves and the New York Knicks, y'all might be in trouble. Boy, y'all might be in trouble. But
I think New York bounced back in the next game.
I think LeBron need to go out on this high note and get on up out of there. Time to go, baby.
Well, they're 3-0 right now. Yeah, LA is 3-0. They probably won't make it past the next round, though. But I think they're going to either get the sweep or the gentleman's sweep. I think that he'll get some rest. He'll get some rest.
Coach,
but you still got to deal with Boston now in the East now. You still got Boston going in the East. Cleveland's doing okay. So it's going to be interesting, man. But I think whoever wins the Western Conference Championship will win the whole thing. I think the West is I think that conference is a better conference this year. But we can get into specifics next week. We good.
Hey, it's never a 3-point shot Boston hasn't liked. I'll tell you that. They shoot themselves in and they shoot themselves out. Minnesota and Edwards. Something to prove.
Yep.
Something to prove.
Yeah.
I think the teams that lost, I think they may bounce back. I think you're looking at 6 and 7 game series.
Mm-hmm.
Not all series, of course, But even Cleveland had a lot to prove. And Atlanta,
Right.
can they make a statement to
Yeah.
go up?
Well,
Can
if they beat if Atlanta wins that series against New York, they have made a statement.
Yeah.
Yep.
If they go up 3-1, it's over.
Yep.
I'm sorry you don't like it, Pat, but there's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to talk about with Miami.
There is. There is, Carlos.
No, I'm gonna make a shocking statement. It's time to move on with the head coach.
Oh,
the head coach?
No.
Yeah.
Say it ain't so, Carlos. Say it ain't so.
Come on, man, Roy, tell me what is he talking about, Roy?
You got
Roy
Roy
talking
coming
about?
Come on in there, Roy. Come on. I'm
not
so.
Hold up now, Carlos. Slow your roll out, bro.
Let me explain. I'm frustrated. The last 3 or 4 years, it's always in the play-in. Always in the play-in. They had not moved forward. They hadn't moved back, except for this time they didn't win the play-in. If not, then is it Pat Riley need to move?
Yes.
Move on? What is?
Yes.
Well, I'm Roy.
I
I'm
think
the whole board.
I think Pat Riley needs to move up, and I think Spo needs to move from the bench to the general manager's position. Go out and get your coach. That's my opinion on the Heat.
Well, Roy, you disagree. I can tell.
I'm conflicted in this situation. And I'm gonna tell you why. So everybody know I'm a Miami Heat literally fan since day one. I literally live 2 blocks from the original Miami arena when they built it. Was working at the facility, and Pat Riley came in and created Heat culture.
Right
now, I think the challenge that we have now is getting the right players into the culture. That's what the situation is, and the problem is that. And I'm gonna say this: I'm a conspiracy theorist, and I'm mad because the league. If you look at it, the league has stopped the 3 top players that have wanted to come to the Heat from going to the Heat. They did it with Damian Lillard. They did it with what's the other boy's name? Chris Paul. They wouldn't let Chris Paul come, and I'm trying to remember who the other one was when we wanted to get the additional help. So the players who were interested are out there. But I think what people have started noticing is that you can't say, okay, now I want to go to Miami. Because the league is pushing people away, which we don't understand why. We love being, look, I'm glad with Miami Heat the villain. Let us be the villain in the league. The league is always better with villains in it anyway. Teams that people love to hate. And we want to do that. Even though we weren't the first team to do the big 3, everybody blaming us. Y'all the one did the big 3. Look, y'all cut it loose. I would like to see. I really think some of these guys who are in this group right now, who have not panned out the way that they should have, or that people expected them to, in their locations, would be good in the Miami Heat system. Charles, I think I will agree with you somewhat. Pat Riley need to move up to ownership. Probably
That's
just
right.
full-fledged.
That's right. Yeah.
I don't know that I don't think it's a matter of Spo leaving the bench though. So I'd like to see Zoe get some run down there at the general manager's position. Some of these other guys who've actually been there at a high level, who can talk to the players about what this system did for me. But I think Spo is still, I think he's still a good coach, but we've been in, this is the year. The fact, Carlos, I'm glad that we didn't make the playoffs. Because when you make the playoffs and you're at that bottom tier of the playoff teams, you're stuck in that mediocrity for years. You can't, because you never can draft high enough to try to get a good player. So, this is going to be the first time when we're going to have an opportunity to really draft in a decent space in a long time. I remember last time we had a top 10 draft pick. Even though we're good at picking and developing talent, you need a star in Miami. And in the league, to be honest, you need 2. You're seeing that across the board everywhere you go. And we've got to get that in.
I think Bam is it. Listen, I'm just like I was with the Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa. Hero ain't it for me. He not it. They need to trade him while they still got some trade value and get rid of him. Because too many people are pushing him out there, and he is just not the one. No.
He's a defensive liability.
He is, and you can't be that in Miami. You can't be that in Miami.
Right. And
I think a lot of guys don't want to come and play for Pat because of the way that culture that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Pat Riley is so rigid. A lot of guys are going away from Miami. They don't want to come to Miami because of his antiquated thinking. He's got to change with the times.
But see, Coach, I don't think he's necessarily antiquated. I think you've got to find people in this, and I think they're out there. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. 2 players or 3 players that I'm thinking, and I heard that one of them is on that I really would like is on the trading block. That Utah's going to be looking at moving Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell would be good in Miami. I also think that both SGA. Cleveland. He's in Cleveland. Yeah. I'm sorry. That's right. He left Utah. But I also think that SGA and not Anthony Edwards and Ja Morant, both of them would become different people in Miami. I'm telling you.
Ja Morant, in my opinion, would sink Miami if he was to come down there.
You think so?
I don't think mentally he's ready for Miami now.
But see, that's what I'm saying.
In Memphis, think about what they're gonna do in Miami.
But see, Coach, look who's in Memphis. When you think about this, when you look back at the Grizzlies team, look back at who is in Memphis that can talk to this kid? He come to Miami, he got Tim Hardaway, he got Alonzo Mourning, he got Shaq, he got D-Wade. He has people who have done it at his level. He has the same problem that your boy John Wall had when he was in Washington. Nobody in that. They came to a program that they were bigger than the franchise.
Yeah, wouldn't be that way in Miami.
Not at all. He needs to go somewhere where people can be like, yo, bro, we did it. You ain't coming here bringing us nothing new.
Well, why you think Jimmy Butler left Miami? Why you think
because they couldn't get the help for him. They needed the help, and that was during that period. The league, go back and look at it. The league would not let any other elite player come to Miami. And that's why Jimmy had that. I mean, they would not allow help to come in. We don't know if that's because of Jimmy and the attitude that people thought he had or whatever. We could not get any additional superstar to come that wanted. We had 3 or 4 that wanted to be there. And they would not. The league blocked all of them.
Right.
And that's
Charles
real.
Doesn't believe you. Charles doesn't believe you.
Look, that's real. No, that's fact. You can go look. The league blocked them.
Right. They block people there. They block people when the LA. Remember when the Clippers when Chris Paul wanted to go to LA, they wouldn't let him go.
They wouldn't let him go there either.
Yep.
I looked in the chat room. EA says, look at the rats jumping the ship. No, we just having a discussion about
jumping the ship, baby. I'm a Heat fan through and through from here to eternity, baby. You ain't gonna get no other team out there. And that's what it is.
Adonis Haslem let him. I think the way he played and the culture that he was a part of, he needs to be a part of the organization.
He's a part of the organization, but I think he getting his money now because he gonna always be there. And I'm gonna say it again. Pat Riley changed that doggone statue. That's the worst thing ever in basketball history. All Heat fans are completely ashamed of that thing that our greatest player that they're calling a statue honoring him. That look like the man from Rocky. Throw in the towel.
And I don't know if y'all seen this, but it was an article on ESPN. The trade didn't go down, but apparently Miami and Milwaukee had a deal in place. You talk about Hero, him, Ware. There's about 4 or 5 of them
for Giannis.
Yeah, but then Milwaukee agreed in principle, then they changed their mind. Now, this is from a writer, ESPN.
Yeah.
So Pat Riley said, and I know if I don't quote him right, I'm gonna get a text. He says they are going after him hard.
Yeah, they're going after Giannis hard. And I think Milwaukee understands that. And I think the key piece to that trade is going to be Khalil Ware. I do not want to give up on. I do not want to trade that young man.
I don't either.
I do not want to trade him because I think he is going to be an amazing player. He going to be the cornerstone. They need to now. This is I do think this Spo. And listen, we know that teams don't tank. But we know that you put bad combinations of players on the floor to not win some games.
Oh my God!
Because you're trying to see what you have in your thing. Because the fact that they don't play Bam and Ware together every doggone night, that they don't even make no sense to me. You know that I mean, those two they have to get a rhythm to play together. But I don't want to give up Khalil Ware. But I think getting Giannis is a big one. Listen, Giannis done figured it out too. All he's saying is the politically correct stuff. He ain't saying nothing about I want to be in Miami. Oh, Miami seems like a great place. Yeah, he done figured it out because every time you say I want to go to Miami, the league step in and be like, yeah, no, you're not doing that.
What about Giannis to New York? To the Knicks?
We talk about the Knicks, bro. Charles, don't bring up the Knicks. Charles, don't bring up the Knicks. I'm gonna remove you from the screen. Leave it alone now. Talking Miami, we ain't talking the Knicks. Leave it alone.
But you know what?
I think it's time for a refresh. I like the Heat. You know, the big three and all that. I like the Heat culture and that whole LeBron story, the cookies and all that other stuff. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But I think it's time for something to happen. Whether Pat Riley moves up, you put Lonzo Mourning in Pat Riley's seat. Yeah. Or maybe
that's what I think would be the best.
So maybe moving up, just like the Celtics did with Brad Stevens. I mean, something's got to shake out there.
Well, I do agree that Pat Riley needs to move completely into the ownership thing and just be that. Hey, let's go recruit. Let's talk to it, because his mentality. Like I think Zoe will keep the Heat culture what it is. Yeah. Will it be as stringent? Will it be as stringent? Probably not. You probably get your body fat done once a week, not every day. Yeah, but you're gonna get it done because we're the Miami Heat have been the best conditioned team in the league for the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah,
you know, and the people talk about that, but you know, it takes a person who wants to win and who wants to be good at what they do to want to be in that culture, because that's what that's all about.
Yeah,
you know, that's about making you a better player.
Yeah,
and you know, and I mean, listen, I ain't heard the whole story. I mean, Michael Beasley mad because he got traded for LeBron and them. That's what it is. He had to leave Heat culture. So Michael Beasley sour. I mean, he's sour because after he left Miami, he wasn't. Look, he did nothing.
Yeah.
In the league overall after he left Miami, and it was disappointing. I didn't want to see him go.
Yeah.
But when you want to bring in talent, you're gonna have to give talent out.
Yeah.
And see, Roy, I think. I'm looking maybe long term, but the organization is looking short term for Miami. They want to win, and they want to win now. They're in that window. I'm just kind of looking at the future, as you stated. Where?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard pressed to trade. I'm gonna be real hard to trade Ware. I think he's, of all of our young players, him and JJ, those two. I don't want to have to give up either one of those, but. If you can keep one of the two and bring in a Giannis, that changes. We back in the Eastern Conference Finals.
And then I'm back to talking NBA. Well, on that note, we appreciate you. We've covered a lot of topics, but you may have kind of moved the needle a little bit. Maybe I'll give Spo the 2-year contract. I don't. But I don't.
He ain't gonna look, Carlos. Yeah, Carlos, hold up.
Problem money.
First off, he ain't going nowhere because they just gave him that $120 million. He set. So we ride with Spo till that contract over. Period. Point blank. That ain't moving. They ain't doing nothing with him.
As a number 2 Miami fan on this panel, they just got to move. You got to tweak something. Let's move. We kind of been in a space where we're not moving forward.
But we don't listen. We do right now.
I want to see action.
Don't have we don't have anybody who can do. We need somebody who you can put the ball in their hands and say, "Go get me 25 every night," and they can do it. And that 25 doesn't necessarily even mean that they're scoring the 25 points. They may give you 20 points and 15 assists. They may, we need that. We don't have a superstar player. As big as Bam, Bam is an all-star. Bam is a great defensive player. But Bam can't keep the ball. He doesn't have the ball in his hand. The ball has to be given to him. And Donovan Mitchell, I love Donovan Mitchell as a point guard. I mean, Donovan. I know his last name Mitchell. But
he's a combo guard to me. He can score.
Love him, but he's too small to be a 2. But he, as a point guard, he's great. Norman Powell, great. He can put up the points, but they don't have that killer. That's why I say you want you a Giannis, you want you a Anthony Edwards, you want you a SGA, somebody who's gonna be like, give me the ball, you're gonna live or die with me. I'm gonna get this. The other guys can do that, once out of a 6-game rotation. Bam can probably do it 2 or 3. You need somebody who at least 5 out of them 6 nights gonna be able to do that for you.
Yeah.
And look at the teams who are playing. I mean, everybody's got they've got those stars. Hell, Atlanta's figuring out they got you one in your boy Johnson.
Yeah.
They thought they had it in Trey. He gone. They got your boy showing up for him.
Well, I want to see after the day some good games. Let's see if they're gonna make some statements, or they're just in the now, or they're teams that you have to look out for. Atlanta, who else? Cleveland, Coach Pettaway. Cleveland's always kind of Cleveland is so unpredictable. They got the height and the length. Denver. I want to see what Denver how they respond.
Yeah, can they get off the deck? Yeah, can they get off the deck? That's going to be the big thing. Yeah.
Coach Pettaway, I do want to ask you a question since we're on this basketball thing and we're talking this NBA. Yeah. I personally think, and it's crazy for me that they're adding more teams. I personally think the NBA is already watered down. I don't think we have enough superstar talent, and I think as they add this stuff, they're going to make it even worse because. Again, let's look at some of the teams playing. Who can you name outside of San Antonio, outside of Milwaukee, outside of Memphis? Who can you name as 2 or 3 go-to players on any of these squads?
Well, you had to exclude Boston because Tatum.
Boston just like New York. I don't talk their stuff. Blah.
Come on.
I'm a Heat fan. We don't talk to people.
But Roy, it's amazing how Tatum came back. That's a significant injury, and he says he's not 100%.
Right, but he's killing. He can give you 25. But you're absolutely right, though, Roy. Let me tell you something. That's what's wrong with Houston. They don't have a person that can go get their own shot, create their own shot. So coming down the stretch, they can't just put the ball in this guy's hand and say, "Okay, go get us a basket." That's what's wrong right now. And then you don't have enough of those guys in the NBA. But because of money, they will make it. They are going to expand now. They're going to expand. There's too much money left on the table. They are going to expand, and they're going to dilute the talent.
Vegas, wow. Interesting. Seattle, they felt bad because they had a franchise taken away from them. But Van Fleet, injured for Houston. Wow, what a difference.
One guard,
And one commentator on the Nats perspective said they were I know it was now. Big Perkins said they're the dumbest team in the league because of how they playing, and he's saying Houston's coach is getting out coached big time.
Yeah. I've changed my thought. When the Knicks were looking for a coach, remember last year, the number one name I threw out there was Ime Udoka. Yeah. That was the number one name. I said it on this show, and I will admit that. Now, at this point, LeBron is eating his lunch. They're about to get swept, and I think people are going to be talking about Ime Udoka.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you look at New York. They had Tibbs, but because he wasn't playing a lot of people, they got rid of him. Now they're one of the worst defensive teams in the league.
Yeah. I heard, listen, I was driving in Carlos, I was driving in today, since Coach mentioned that. They had Walt Frazier on the radio
Oh,
talking about it. You know, because a lot of folks don't know he's actually originally from Atlanta.
yeah.
And and they were talking about the fact that he said the same exact thing you did. He said, look, they got rid of coach and they had no real defense. They had no tenacity in their defense.
Right.
But the guys were complaining that apparently they was getting worked too hard. So yeah.
Oh, sound like a situation with the culture at Miami.
Yep.
You know, body fat, practice hard. I don't know, Wheeler. It just seems
Soft.
it's a different time.
I knew.
Don't nobody else want to say it. Wheeler gonna say it. These players are now. They're soft.
Cotton candy, Carlos. Cotton candy. Melt in your mouth, baby. Melt in your mouth.
Right. I'm not saying it was right, but back in the day, you went through a whole practice. Do you know you never got a drop of water?
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Now that's all they do. Take water breaks. I'm saying it's a different mindset. I'm not saying it was right. Don't get me wrong now. I'm not saying all that was right, but it was a different mindset back then. and they made you tough. You had to be tough to survive.
That's right.
Coach,
That's
what it is. You know what it is? And it's the unfortunate reality of the growth and success of all of these sports. Because I agree with you 100%. It's the bag. Everybody can get a bag. And that's what they're concerned with, getting their bag and staying around so they can get their bag as much as possible. You know, I think I'm gonna be honest with you. I think LeBron was the last that group that he came in. That was the last really I'm gonna go get it group that we gonna see in the NBA.
And that's 20 years ago now.
Yeah, yeah. And these are all the kids. Yeah, yep. You're not gonna see that I'm gonna go out there and get it. I'm gonna show you what I'm worth. You know, and I think that's not just the pros; it's college because. Like you said, Willie, you got guys who was riding the bitch and at a one school demanding $50,000 to come to your school now. He's like, bruh, for what? We got 3 plays of film on you. What you? But I was a 4-star recruit and they had me at Alabama. So hey.
Yeah, that's kind of I've talked to coaches in the past. It's really overrated. It's the star system is connected with how many camps you go to.
That's it. That's it right there. That's it.
And we have a colleague on the Black College Sports Network. We don't really get into it, but sometimes you have these things on social media, the 90s and 2000s versus now, and you guys kind of talk about it. The mentality is different, and then it's LeBron versus Michael. Oh my, you might as well you blow that out, just sit back and watch the conversation. I have my perspective on it. It's not even, to me, it's MJ all the way. And he used to make me cry many days. But I look at it, and then I look at a guy like Alex English. Who is that? Get 30 points just as so effortlessly.
Yeah,
and then the hand check, and Coach Roy, we talked about on this show, I call it the European influence.
Yeah,
Michael said he would score 60, 70 points a game because you couldn't hand check. You can't hand check now, but back then it was that.
Yeah,
the no layup rule. It's just a different perspective. And Michael, I saw an interview recently, said he doesn't look at himself as the greatest. He let y'all and us talk about this era versus that era. He just went out to win. And when they did that special, did you see how he cried, tears coming out? Because people said, oh, he was an ass. He was mean. It was winning and nothing else. But what else was it? Winning. That's it. I'm off my soapbox.
I got you. All right, Carlos.
Roy, we appreciate you letting us go over. We're getting good feedback about the different topics. So every Saturday at 11 a.m., the Carlos Brown Show right here on the Black College Sports Network. Let the conversation continue in the chat room. and we appreciate all the comments. Roy, you want to add anything?
Since he doing that over there on the other side, I'm gonna go ahead and drop this in. Let's go Rattler baseball. Let's go get him, baby.
And free Crenshaw.
You got that right. Yes.
Have a good one. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next Saturday.
All right,
at 11
see you
a.m.
next week. All right.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
God bless.